Good evening. I don't know, I'm always surprised. We're literally here watching things count down. We know what's about to happen, and still I'm just like a deer in headlights as soon as it switches. Hi, everybody. I'm CADave. This is Happy Jack's RPG Network. We're here to start Burning Bright, our Bladerunner RPG from Free League, actual play. We are you're going to be able to find this game at happyjacks.org/burningbright. And all the other shows and all the other cool stuff you can find at happyjacks.org/shows. This game so far only has the character creation episode, but soon it will have this one, or you're watching it now. So awesome. Little bit of information about our game. This is definitely a rated M for mature experience. Bladerunner is not a nice place. It is the extremes of wealth and poverty and all of the crime and terrible things that you might encounter in the world of Bladerunner if you've ever seen the films. So there's going to be some people that get hurt and some people that get killed and some people that have robberies and mayhem and all kinds of bad things happen because all of the players here are agents of the Rep Detect unit of the LAPD, whose job it is to go out, find miscreant replicants that have decided to go against the laws of the world and retire them in the nice colloquialism. So sometimes that's going to be a thing. But we have arranged some safety tools. We've talked about things that will not exist in our game world and things that are okay to happen. We also have an X card available here. I'm going to push the button because I love it. Yay! It's like an X card little party. But everybody has access to those. So if anything comes up in gameplay that isn't sitting well with you, even if it's something as simple as, oh, that character has the same name as my uncle, and I really like my uncle, and I don't want to shoot them. So please, let's change that character name. That's easy stuff like that. We're happy to take care of with the same sincerity that we would approach anything else. Because at the end of the day, we're here to play a game and have a good time. We're not here to make anybody feel bad or take all the air out of the room with nasty stuff. So, that said, let's talk about who's here with me. Let's start over here today.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I am Joey, and I am playing Gavin Huxley. Human question mark? The fixer.
Human until you're not.
Human till you're not. Ain't that just the way? And I'm the fixer. Someone else talk now.
That's my cue. Hi, my name's Cousteau. I'm playing Fjor Rotari. I am human. I'm fully human, bro. I have two names. And I'm a veteran LAPD. That's it. That's me.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and today I am here to play Haru, who is a Replicant Investigator who uses they, them pronouns and is definitely not a problem and is definitely just here to behave. Yep.
I definitely believe that.
Mhm.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I'm here to play Kestrel, who is a rookie enforcer. We both use she, her pronouns. And I'm probably also not going to be a problem.
No.
Neither is my gigantic dog Brick.
Totally believe it. Totally.
The fact that you sent the emotional table of brick to our chat was the best.
I love it.
Oh, man.
You
That
gotta
was great.
familiarize them with your expressions, you know?
Sure, yeah. We all know what to look out for. For sure. So, being episode 1, you know all there is to know. We're going to dive into things and get started here. First thing I'd like to do tonight is for our replicants in the party, it's time for a baseline test. So in the game mechanics, there's an actual roll to this. It's an empathy plus insight roll, because this is sort of a test of how balanced you're feeling, because it's a challenge. As it is for many of us right here today. So,
Same.
luckily, they don't make us sit in front of a machine and recite a whole litany of weird
strange
responses.
thing.
Memories,
Um,
dreams.
You don't have to do that?
Oh, yeah, we definitely all do that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Bless.
Remember, Blade Runner started in 2019,
Yep.
so it's on.
We're living
Quarantine was weird for a lot of people.
it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good job, Dice.
Okay, so I also I don't remember. I think I told you before we started, but you get advantage.
I needed
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So did you get a 6 or higher?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I got one as well.
That's great. So you both get a promotion point
Oh.
because you are working great. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. My mental health is awesome.
So for those of you listening at home, the baseline test is sort of the thing that replicant characters have to go do once in a while, especially if they start to have aberrant behavior. If the LAPD finds out that they let another replicant go without bringing them in or without retiring them, something like that, then they'd be forced to come in and have another baseline test. And if you don't pass, then the first one, it starts out, much like coaching in the workplace with a verbal warning.
Yes.
A second one means you have to spend a whole shift in the game going off to Wallace Corp and having a whole analysis session
No.
with a psychologist.
Absolutely not.
No, thank you.
And if you miss a third one, then you end up on the retirement list.
They sent you to the farm.
Yeah, yeah. You have to retire upstate to Sacramento, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the way that goes. So it is a dangerous situation. In this case, you guys had advantage. Future ones, you probably won't. So something to think about. Like other skill checks, however, you can push
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
one of these checks, but then you start accruing stress and things can rack up to be a bigger problem. Also, if you end up having to go and have the psychologist intervene, you lose a resolve point permanently.
Ah.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Oh,
it can be a bad time.
You shouldn't do that.
Neither should you. Do not recommend.
All right. So, kicking this off, our game is set in 2037, just a couple of years before the events of the second Blade Runner film. So much of the aesthetics, if you've watched the films, are right there with the contemporary stuff in the second film. The world does have some AI, some things like that. There was a great replicant uprising back just after the events of the first film that they actually detonated like dirty bombs, and the EMP of these nuclear explosions pretty much destroyed digital life as we know it. So there's a lot of anti-replicant sentiment, and there's still a lot of replicants out there hiding. The earlier models before they were approved to operate here on Earth again, with the pressure of the Wallace Corporation, they're still out there. They're still around. Some even earlier model replicants may still be out there because everybody said they only had a 6-year lifespan, but is that always true? Did sometimes that get left off? Who knows? That could always be a thing. Because Tyrell and his corporation did all kinds of weird experiments. Because he was more interested in finding the truth of being than he was in making, new people. So he caused a lot of problems in the world. Like a lot of people with mega corporations. So that's a thing. As agents of the Reptitech unit, you guys are going to get into this, and we're going to get into a mystery, and you'll be out solving it. Again, real quick, we'll do a recap about how the shift mechanic works. So every player has sort of a shift tracker. You can kind of write down the things that you do per shift. And if you have a little bit of room, you can add a couple of notes, whatever. It makes you happy and keeps you on track. It works. The way shifts work is you can really only accomplish one sort of major thing per shift. So if you're going to want to go check out a crime scene, that's what you're doing for that shift. If you want to go to the morgue and look at a body, that's what you do for the shift. Think about all the kind of activities you've ever seen in those police procedurals. That's kind of what we're doing. Sometimes it'll turn into some action with a chase or finding a suspect and having to track them down. It's not just CSI, the RPG. You're not like, okay, let's just go between the office and a crime scene and sweep up some debris. Like, that's not the game we're playing. We want to have some action and fun. I'm also super interested in the cool moral quandaries of Blade Runner. So we'll get into that as we go. Once you've done stuff for 3 shifts, you need to take a downtime shift. That doesn't necessarily mean you go home and sleep, but it maybe means that you go find a drink and you relax. It helps you clear stress that you've accrued and gets you ready for the next day. You can push yourself to work another shift, but then you've got troubles later on because that stress and all those things accrue farther, which will be a problem. The other thing that happens that you don't have access to, but I have, a countdown of events. So as you're investigating this, things are going to happen whether you've discovered the right path or the right clues or whatever, and eventually you could not solve the mystery, right? The suspect gets away. They go hide out in the Kipple, the area around the mega city of Los Angeles. You'll never find them again, right? They're just out there forever. Or maybe they'll come back and have a little bit of angriness towards you because of the things you caused them to have to run away from. Who knows? But things are going to tick down as we play, whether you're aware of them or not, which I also like. That's fun. So don't expect to have to ask me for a second sheet. Okay? If we get to the end of day 7, we've probably exhausted this mystery. In the future, maybe we'll get into longer things, but we'll see. It all kind of depends on where things go. The first thing I'd like to ask is sort of what this is your downtime shift, right? What would you be going to do to get yourself rested up to go back to work in 8 hours?
Oh, certainly. Okay. Yeah, so I think Gavin is probably at the bar at a ritzy-ish nightclub.
Okay.
Trying to make appearances, rubbing elbows with the right people, keeping the avenues of communication open. That kind of thing.
Okay. So just kind of chilling, having a drink, and seeing who comes in, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Right. What do you think you might do?
Fjord's probably hanging out at the local White Dragon Noodle Bar.
All right.
Just out in public, looking for people he knows who might want to talk on what's going on in the city. Doesn't have a permanent pad, might also be looking to couch surf and also find out some information from people. He's just kind of laying low, but alert and observant.
Sure.
And his pronouns are he, him.
Very good. Very good. Because noodles are awesome. For sure. What's Haru go to do?
Haru's probably over at Nightclub Row, getting all kinds of intoxicated and other things. Just, I would say rubbing elbows, but not in the way that Gavin is. More in the, in with maybe some less than legal behavior going on in the area.
All right. I also like the idea of you are at 2 nightclubs just separated by 100 floors. So there's one down here and one way up here.
You're on the VIP floor.
Yes.
I'm on the I barely managed to smooth talk the bouncer into letting me into the club floor.
Yes. And same legal activity, just we're doing ours in the bathroom, yours doing yours
on the floor because
floor.
everyone there is doing the same thing. Yes.
Very good. What about Kestrel?
Fun fact, that bouncer that you talked your way in through is actually Kestrel's brother. And she is begrudgingly hanging out in that nightclub because he insisted that she come and check in with him. And just really waiting for him to just turn his back so she can go home and snuggle with that giant dog in her warehouse.
Perfect. So one of the things that you're all equipped with is called a KIA, right? It is a big, almost Fallout style Pip-Boy interface that's a smartphone and a video phone and all access to the internet, all of that stuff. It's the way that you're all connected. You can talk with each other at any time. So even though this game does encourage you to split the party, which I know in RPGs is weird, you are still in communication with each other. So anything that one of you discovers can instantly be shared to somebody else. That's fine. Also, one of the things I'm going to ask as you discover clues is, are you registering this information with the LAPD or not? It's up to you. If you do, that's the path that's going to lead you towards getting more promotion points, which keeps your job secure and will eventually get you enough that you can buy more of those specialties that we got from character creation. If you don't, and maybe you decide to do something like, you find Dave Bautista and his farm, and he's not hurting anybody, and you decide you're not going to try and retire him or take him in, you're just going to leave and be like, the trail went cold, sorry. You won't get promotion points, you'll get humanity points. And humanity points are the things that will help you up your skills. The humanity points you earn, there's no real negative to them. Promotion points, they can either be used for specialties or to buy favors in exchange for things like access to the great LAPD database or stuff like that. The thing is, if you do something illegal, you might earn a humanity point, but you got to hope that no one saw and no one turns you in, including the other players, right? That's the little bit of party conflict that can come up easily is, well, you saw them let that guy go. You were in the window of the apartment building covering the street. Clearly they didn't get away. They were caught, but then suddenly they walked off. Oh, are you going to report that or not? I don't know. So it's the next morning. You've all somewhat recovered from your previous night. It is always raining. It's kind of like the LA we're actually moving into. Like suddenly it rains in September. It's weird. Right? Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I'm not satisfied with the answers. But you all get a ping on your KIA that says a deputy chief, Holden, the guy that you've all known working there for a while. He's the one that's the boss of the Rep Detect unit. He has asked you all to come in this morning as soon as possible. There's a major situation that happened overnight. And that's all the details that are on the digital record. You all, of course, can call for a spinner to come and pick you up, which it will happily do. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You also don't have to go. That's part's up to you. So who's going? Who would take their time? Who is just straight not gonna go?
Is there a way to see who was all on that message? Was it just our group, or is it
That's a good
all points
question.
bulletin?
Well, this is a come into my office message.
Right.
It's not like he wouldn't summon the whole Rep Detect unit.
Okay.
Right? Like that's too many people. Clearly that kind of message would be like, there's going to be a memo kind of a thing. But let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it totally has you've worked together before. We're not going to do that. You don't know each other at all kind of situation. You've worked together before. You've seen each other in the hallways.
Dog. Important
Sorry.
dog.
Loopy face walks by. I have to reach for it. But yes, you see listed, like, here are the detectives that were called for this meeting. So it's like somebody didn't use BCC.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm going.
I'm going.
You taking a spinner? You gonna make your way there on your own?
I have gutter rat, so I guess I just get there how I get there.
Absolutely, that's
connection.
totally fine.
Cool.
One of the other things you also have to consider is like the world outside of LAPD headquarters isn't necessarily super friendly to you if they know that you're working for the LAPD. So just running around with your badge and summoning police cars from the sky all the time could be dicey.
Haru slept somewhere near Nightclub Row, not at home, and is gonna use probably the worst form of public transportation, because any public transportation is probably terrible,
Sure.
to get there extremely slowly, but as quickly as they consider they could do it.
That's cool. All right.
And Kestrel will go quickly and as inconspicuously as possible.
Okay. So you get there first.
Mhm.
Well, are you taking a spinner?
Absolutely taking
Okay.
a spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting
I got
fully
that vibe.
fully dressed, fully like
Yeah.
pristine, and then
Well, you totally have time. If you're taking a spinner, you have time to take a shower and
Oh,
get
yeah.
yourself together. You're fine. So you know, the top of the LAPD building, it looks like that big landing facility from Return of the Jedi, right? It's just this big platform, and spinners are coming and going at all hours. And basically every huge building has these landing platforms at some place on the building, either on the roof or a terrace off the side or something. They're pretty much everywhere. But you fly over there past all the neon lights and all the hollow advertisements that have kind of taken over things in the recent years, which it's good that the spinner mostly drives itself, because having a giant person advertising a soda in front of you as you're going down the street is a problem if you're trying to not run into things.
yeah, not a fan.
But you get there nice and quickly. There's a lot of activity for this hour of the morning, right? There's a fair number of officers that are kind of doing their own thing and walking around. And you can see that when you walk in, you walk past the big Esper wall, right? Which is sort of the surveillance computer of LA. Like, imagine every CCTV camera is actually hooked up to one network, kind of a situation. And you can see that there's people there that are doing the whole organizing data and trying to, quarantine sections of footage and putting them places. And there's a lot going on. But it's LA. Like, it's not, you've never not seen it busy, but this seems a little worse than normal.
Am I picking up any piece of conversation as I'm walking by?
You probably see that there's a couple of officers that are talking about, like, an officer was involved in the shooting. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you actually do,
Yeah.
are you just trying to passively listen for it, or are you going to ask anybody?
I'm passively listening until something perks my ear,
Okay.
and then I might go and engage.
So why don't you do empathy insight?
Empathy, insight. Okay. Dice roll. Where's my D12? D12 for empathy and D10 for insight.
Ooh, boy.
Good. Yeah. So that is a 9.
Okay, that's one success.
And then an 8 on the other one.
That's also a success.
Perfect.
So you got 2 successes.
Beautiful.
So, you, as you're walking by, some guys walking the other way, one of them was like, yeah, I always, clearly this is a human officer, and I always knew that those new Nexus units were gonna be involved in trouble, right? They can't handle themselves like we can. We've been doing this for years. They're brand new. Whatever memories they implant in them, he's talking mad trash.
Okay.
The gist of what you discover is that one of the Nexus officers was killed last night.
Oh.
his opinion is clear that it's the Nexus's fault, right? Oh yeah, a human officer would know not to do that. What kind of idiot would do? You don't get the details of the scene yet, but that's the discussion.
Okay.
Let's see. Kestrel, you probably get there next.
Mhm.
It's just you, right? You don't bring your dog to work.
No, he doesn't come.
Okay.
I don't think that my work knows that I have a dog.
That's totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get there. You probably notice a lot of the human officers clam up when you walk in.
Mm-hmm. That's probably not unusual. She
No.
does not give them friendly looks.
I love her.
That distrust goes both ways.
Sure. But particularly, like, you don't even hear the usual sort of side chatter about that people are just talking about their shift. Like, oh my God, we had to deal with another car accident. It was stupid. The person,
Mm-hmm.
this lady drove up on the sidewalk and said she didn't think she had been drinking, and clearly she hit a building. They're big. that kind of talk, but even that is a little repressed.
Okay.
And as you start heading up towards Holden's office, because he has a nice office, he's been here a long time. It just gets quieter and quieter as you go upstairs.
Okay.
The idea in my head for the inside of this LAPD building is it's pretty stark white. Like, they try and keep it up. They have a big budget, right? They actually get money from Wallace for using the new Nexus 9 replicants, right? It's not only do you not have to pay to buy a replicant, but we're going to pay you to demonstrate that our new model is amazing and helps people and is great. So there have been a lot of renovations in the last year or so. And a fair number of them are cosmetic in a way that's clear that some PR person from Wallace probably was like, oh, we can't have a dingy cop shop, right? It can't be the stereotypical bricks and doors with old 1940s glass, and that's not what we want this to look like. So a lot of effort has been put into, and some of that stuff is just behind the surface of like new shiny plastic coating, like stormtrooper armor on the walls, right? But as you go upstairs, that's where most of the renovations have happened, right? Obviously, Fjor, you get there next. I think, as always, you probably get the looks from people because you come in and you're just like an urchin, right? There's a few though. Like, you've seen several other officers that kind of work the same beat that you do, that are clearly connected to the street, and that's their jam. So there's probably even, you've been here a long time. You know some of them. You guys chat, you don't necessarily work the same area of the city or the same case, but you know a lot of people on the street. They know a lot of people on the street. You probably coordinate working with CIs, confidential informants, so that you don't end up paying the same person twice that somebody else is already paying, that kind of stuff. So a couple of them, give you the, hey, some guys like, I just made coffee. You get a much warmer reception than the others have gotten. And finally, Haru, I think when you get there, you get the opposite side of Fjor's coin, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just coming in bedraggled. Like, you were out all night,
Yeah.
just having a super party, and you slept like in the nightclub dance floor.
Probably.
So clearly you're not put together. You're just stumbling into the place. people are like, oh, come on, right? Like, why would we? How does that line up with this shiny new stuff? Like,
And Haru walks in like they may as well be getting the same reception. Though they're like, "Hey."
for sure. So there's a bunch of awkward people because like some guy was just like, "Hey, buddy, I just made coffee," and then they're like, "Hey, well,
Oh,
good morning.
Hey.
I'm gonna go up and get coffee." You all make your way up. Outside the deputy chief's office, there is a reception area with a replicant receptionist. He sits there and he looks at everyone and says, "Oh, I'm glad you finally all made. Like you've been sitting there for 20 minutes."
Mm-hmm.
And he's been like, "The deputy chief will see you when you all get here. If you'd like some water, there's some water over here." And there's a big like fish tank wall with animoid fish in it because there's a lot of money here, but not real fish money.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feed animoid fish, so great. It's sort of the stereotypical like California coastline fish tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got big Garibaldi fish in there and grouper and stuff, but it's a big tank. And it's just designed to make it look like, oh yeah, the world's still fine outside. No. Out past the Great Venice seawall at this point is storms and crashing waves and oil slicks, right? There's not much else. You finally all get there, and the receptionist stands up and says, "Excuse me a moment." Turns and opens the door, and as soon as he opens the door, you hear, for lack of a better description, you hear the Darth Vader wheeze inside the office. It's just there's a constant mechanical asthma attack happening in that office. And you would know that Deputy Chief Holden is the interrogator that you saw get shot through the chest in the first film.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool.
He still works here.
Oh, this poor
He
guy.
has artificial lungs now, and a whole exoskeleton because he was shot through the chest and spine. But, you know, he still managed to work his way up the ranks here and has hung on long enough. The receptionist comes out a second later and goes, "He'll see you now. He's off his call." And you step in, and the deputy chief is seated behind this massive desk, right? It's polished stainless steel looking. And you can tell he does not take care of this desk at all because was once shiny and new and is now covered in coffee rings and fingerprints everywhere and piles of papers. But as you come in, he kind of looks at everyone and says, "All right, I wish you'd gotten here a little sooner, but we'll start where we're going to start. Last night, there was a shooting at a nightclub. Some of you may have heard of it, the Snake Pit. Seedy underbelly of a nightclub, but they're known for having good acts. A lot of people go there, even though it's more dive bar than club. But we had 2 RDU agents that were there last night. 2 of the new Nexuses, and he looks over at you guys. They were there. We don't know exactly what happened yet, but we know one is dead and one is missing. They were named Leia and Sandor. Sandor's the dead one. Leia is missing. He was more combat focused, which is probably why he was shot. have a little bit of information on the club. Guess it would help if I kept these in the right order. I'll send one each way. Here's the files that we have on Leia and Sandor. If you want to
Oh, yes.
flip. And here. This frame, and then copy, like right click and copy that one. We're on it, guys. Sorry.
Duplicate, yes. Or not duplicate.
There should be a way to. I think you can. Oh no. Huh.
You done with
Pass them.
In the other window, sorry, where the Pro FX thing is,
Mm-hmm.
right click and copy that, and then flip back to the other screen, the clue screen.
Blue screen? Okay.
That
Good.
should be working. I see something that bounces, and we're
Yep,
on the right
I
frame.
think we're-
So great, delightful. Thank you for sticking with us through a hiccup. The first time doing all these clues digitally, so we will remember to do all that. The images you're seeing are some files on Leia and Sandor, the replicants that were involved in this missing person / shooting. The snake pit, we'll go back a little bit. They were sent there because it was suspected Nexus 8 activity. Nexus 9s are the new legal replicants. Nexus 8 units are the previous entry into the replicant world that still weren't quite as accepted. But they were there to go check it out and see if they could find anybody. The other thing that we've discovered about last night is this all started to go down when there was a fight, brawl in the place that started involving some of this, I don't know, human supremacist group. Some of them looked like they were there. I don't know why. I don't know if they go there often, but they were in the place last night. Some kind of a ruckus started up, and that's when this all went down. I don't have any details on that yet. The crime scene's still locked down. But I need you guys to get out there and investigate it because I would rather hear it from you than hear it in the pages of that sleazy Kill magazine that he puts out. Here's the problem. If we lose trust in our replicant officers, we're going to deal with not just the fact that the public distrusts replicants even more again, but we're going to have to deal with the fact that suddenly that our benefactors at Wallace Corp aren't so happy to hand us big bucks to keep making the LAPD a better place. If somebody is out there killing and kidnapping Nexus 9 officers because they're the easiest Nexus 9s to point out, we need to deal with that quickly and quietly. I did get a call from Wallace Corp already on this, and they want us to run the investigation, but they want to be kept in the loop on everything. So I expect you to get in contact with them as you uncover some stuff. I would rather you do that sooner than later so that they're not breathing down my neck. Their PR manager that's calling named Quell. I assume another replicant, since I didn't get a last name. I'm happy if you want to split up and check out different things. We've got Sandor, the dead body, in the morgue. We've got the crime scene at the snake pit. You can see if you can dig up anything in the database downstairs. However you want to work this, just get to work in it. And I would not expect to have a relaxing day. You understand?
Oh, no pressure.
Crystal
boss.
clear.
My whole goal here is to not get vid calls like I got from Wallace this morning. So I would not like to get another one. Take care of this. Make sense? Anybody have any questions?
Nope. I think we're just gonna go solve the case for you, boss.
How
That's
hard
what I
can
like
it
to
be?
hear. That's right. LA's a tiny town. You'll be able to find a kidnapping victim and a shooter in moments, I'm sure. That's
we're-
what I like to hear.
We're sure it's a kidnapping. There's been no sign of a ransom, no sign of.
I don't know what it is.
All right.
Kidnapping, maybe dragged away and killed somewhere down the street. I don't know.
Or just AWOL.
I better hope not. But you tell me.
Aye, aye.
All right. If you have any questions, you can call me. I'd really rather not. The less I know until this is solved, the less I have to put out to the brass upstairs.
I do have a question. Is Wallace going to use Quell to put out an official statement? And what would that be?
I also hope not. I think if we get to that point, they're going to be putting out a statement like it was us mismanaging replicant officers and blaming us for the problem.
So they won't smooth it over except by throwing us under the bus.
Seems likely. When's the last time you saw a big corporation take responsibility for something?
I just wanted to know because I think given a choice between working with Quell and going to the snake pit, I'd rather go to the snake pit than talk with someone like that.
Like I said, you have a little time, get some information, just keep them in the loop. I wouldn't wait too long to make contact, because then they're going to start calling me, and if I have to call you, we're going to have a problem. Got it?
Aye, aye.
All right. And he kind of sags back in his chair a little bit. Like, you get big Danny Glover Lethal Weapon vibes.
Oh.
Right? Like, he is very ready to not be doing this anymore.
2
But
weeks from
he
retirement.
probably...
Bad choice of words.
Ooh.
Yeah, that means a whole different thing in this world. But it's also probably a situation where he keeps working here to pay for his health insurance,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. So you guys have a couple of things you could check out. If anybody has any ideas, even if I didn't specifically mention somewhere,
Yeah.
we need more information on both victims in this.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, I would plan to just hang out at the snake pit, maybe not as like an official investigator, obviously, but just hang out at the scene. Maybe see if there's a trail leading to the human supremacists, or just witnesses in general.
Maybe better to go sooner rather than later, since there's a crime scene there currently. I can't imagine. Oh, maybe they are going to be open again tonight. I don't know how they work down there.
People like to look at the scene of a crime. Sometimes they come back too. So if there's witnesses, they might be around. It'd start with the establishment, the staff, the owner. But yeah, if any of you are planning on flying over, that'll get me there quicker.
You know, you can call a car.
I'd rather not be shown in a police car.
Alright.
Drop me off nearby.
Well, I have no problem talking to Wallace Corp.
Please.
That sounds like a good idea.
The only issue is I'd like to be able to tell them something, so maybe we don't do that first. So,
Snake Pit sounds as good a place to start as any.
I'm inclined to check out the address of our missing replicant.
mm-hmm.
See if she's left anything behind.
Or maybe anything that might have made her stand out as a target.
Yeah.
Anybody feel like looking at a body?
I've seen plenty.
Like, I can look at a body and be like, yep, that's a body.
I can make you one.
No.
So, places that I mentioned and places that you mentioned, it sounds like you have choices of Snake Pit, Wallace, the morgue, the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
or housing,
Housing.
whatever it may be. In this
address.
case, it will be an apartment. Most agents live in the provided LAPD housing
Yeah.
because it's free. Did I miss anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, you guys are welcome to pair up. You're welcome to split up, however you want to work it. This will be day 1, shift 1.
Let's just say for the body, I don't think it's a big mystery how he died.
That's a good point.
We can always check it out later if we need to.
It's not going anywhere. All right. Yeah, I have no problem going to the snake pit. Unless you'd like company to go to the...
I don't need a chaperone. I can walk to the apartments.
All right, suit yourself.
Where do you think Kestrel's going to go?
Snake Pit.
Snake Pit too? Okay. Totally fine. So let's start with the Snake Pit. You arrive and are you all taking spinners or are you planning to make your way there on your own?
Oh, I'm definitely taking a spinner.
I mean, with 3 of you going, you can't all fit in one ride. So
These are like 2 seats. There's 2 seaters, right?
yeah.
Can you?
I mean, you can take 2. Like, that's fine. Everybody could ride, or you could take 3. I mean, You're authorized at this level to take whatever you need from that pool at this point.
I'll take one, but I'll just like get off the block before.
Sure.
Yeah, I gotta maintain my urchin image.
I'll go with Gavin if he's already calling one.
Okay. Perfect. So, getting there a little ways away, you land, you kind of come out from a side street onto the main drag, and the bar itself, you can see the front is got the caution, crime scene tape across the front. And there's sort of, those crowd barriers that are set out in a square around the front, so nobody can get in. But there's a decent sized group of people that are standing around out there. Like, it looks like they're not like crowding and trying to break in, but they're loitering around like, oh, what went on in there last night? That kind of curiosity. Probably neighborhood folks that look like they're looking at the place. And you guys, I assume you're just landing like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there and see the same group of people out front. There's one uniformed cop that's sort of standing out there keeping the crowd from just breaking into the place.
Yep.
But he looks bored, and he looks like he's just sort of standing there waiting for detectives to show up, because they can't clear the scene until somebody does that's higher on the pay grade than them. The place itself on the outside is the bottom of this big tower building. It looks like it was some kind of industrial thing before. It's got this fancy flowing script neon sign out front that says the Snake Pit in sort of yellow orange color. The place itself, the doors, they're closed, but you can't tell if they're locked from a distance. And then that crime scene tape, there's just an X across it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Shoot.
The human supremacist group, is there anything that visually identifies them? Do they have any sort of like insignia or like...
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
Yeah, they're not an organized group. It's more just, it's not as easy to point out as hate groups today,
Sure.
for example.
Yeah.
It's just sort of folks that feel that way, kind of. If you see somebody walking around with a copy of Kill magazine under their arm, that's a
Okay.
good clue. You don't see anybody out there doing that right this second.
Yeah.
It looks, in fact, like a couple of the people standing out there at the line are regulars that are probably like, I would very much like to go in and have a drink now. I don't know what the hell's going on, but
This murder is really inconveniencing
Yes,
my
yeah,
night.
yeah.
My morning. I'm here to morning drink.
Hey, you cannot drink all day unless you start early in the morning.
It's true.
True.
Mhm.
Only winners.
Aha!
There's a reason why beer comes in 24 packs. You can have at least one every hour.
Mm. Is there anybody in the crowd that looks like they don't belong? Like anybody who looks like they might not be from the neighborhood, anybody who doesn't look like,
All right.
they might be there from the night before.
Sure. Why don't you make a roll for that?
Okie dokie.
Let's do intelligence observation.
All right. Intelligence is a D8. Observation is also a D8. Thank God I brought 2 sets of polyhedrals.
Here's something that I should point out. Any of the rest of you are allowed to help the help mechanic. You can't all help, but one person can help us in this situation. If you choose to help, before you read out your answer, you can give your die in that skill over, like, just give them a bonus, whatever you have in that skill.
Okay.
That becomes the extra die they roll.
Whatever bonus or the actual.
Whatever die type.
Okay, the actual D8.
So,
okay.
yeah, if you have a D8 in observation, you would get to roll an extra D8 if somebody's helping you do that.
Mm.
For example. What'd you get?
What do you get if you get doubles?
Double
Whoa.
what?
Double 4s.
Oh, no.
It just looks like a rowdy crowd of street level club goers
Okay.
to you. You're not convinced that any of them, like, there's no person standing out there in white tails that stands out to you. There's no person standing there with like a huge assault rifle, like I like killing. But you don't. None of them
Okay.
stand out to you.
Sounds good. All right.
Anybody else want to do anything before you make your way inside,
Yeah.
or?
I'm actually looking for the locals, like for people, the looky-loos on the side of the street.
Okay.
Out of earshot of people close to the building.
Sure.
Nowhere near my colleagues, whoever's there.
Sure. Why don't you why don't you do empathy connections?
So it's just the
So it's the whatever die type you have in empathy and
Okay.
whatever die type you
And
have in connection.
okay.
Oh no. Oh.
I got 2d5s.
Oh, so close. So close.
On the edge of glory.
You don't like nobody that's around there looks like they really want to chat about it. Most of the people in this neighborhood that are like loitering around are not people that are excited about killing.
Okay.
The ones that might want to chat are probably the ones up there that are being curious
Okay.
more than the other folks here.
I'm good. This is cold, so I'll move over towards the establishment.
Cool.
I think I'm keen to get a look at the crime scene,
Okay.
like where the actual.
So you're just gonna
scuffle was.
stride on in.
Yeah, she's not fussed with people.
I mean, it's super easy for you to make your way through the crowd. Like, are you like manhandling people out of the way, or are you just like?
I think she doesn't have to.
Okay.
She is dressed head to toe in like full tactical gear. And she just walks like, you're gonna get out of my way.
Sure. All right.
You're moving, right?
The full RoboCop experience.
Yeah.
All right. All
I
right.
love her.
So, you probably get a little closer to folks than you're used to
Mhm.
because they're so focused on like trying to peer in the little smoked glass windows and that kind of stuff. And then you get up behind somebody and the first person in the back of the crowd is like, oh, and kind of like awkwardly dives out of the way. And then it turns into like a minor mosh pit off to the side of where you're walking because people are leaping into other people and they're like, I'm sorry, excuse me. Oh. And then other people are like, hey, quit shoving. Pushing back and forth. So like some people almost ricochet off the other folks and come back into your line of fire. And then they're like, oh, and then they
They don't
dive in
wanna
the
be
other
there.
direction. Yeah. So you get to the door without any problems.
Excellent.
It's not locked. You can pull it open.
Mhm.
You just ripping the tape out of the way, or are you just gonna casually stretch it?
No,
Okay.
out of the way.
Cool. You can see a couple of the regulars that are in the crowd are like, yeah, maybe it'll get the place open soon. Let's go. And you get inside the building. I will then provide a map of the inside. That's C map.
Peace.
Except to look
Testing. I think we're good.
Yay! We can be taught.
I like that sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Mhm.
cool.
And this is what the inside looks like. So it's surprisingly, and we'll flip to that in a second.
Okay.
It's surprisingly gilded, I
Mhm.
guess, is the way to look
Yeah.
at the crime scene. Like it, from the outside of the building, you would have expected like techno-industrial kind of club.
It's a bit
And-
baroque.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This is decorated in a way you don't expect, but it's still not
Mm.
super clean and nice. It's definitely not maintained like you would expect a place that looks like that to be maintained.
You know
We'll
what?
switch to clue. I believe it's N. You can look on the back of it for me.
Oh.
Forgot to
Yes,
look.
the N.
N.
And
And you see right in the middle of that dance floor, there's just a big
That's a big
puddle of blood
puddle of
with boot prints that have gone through it. Probably the coroner or whoever took away
blood. Mhm.
Come on, guys.
the body.
Messy human.
I heard it was a replicant that did it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the people messing up my crime scene.
Now, I will say, this is our first sort of crime scene clue. There are things in this picture that I'm not going to particularly point out.
Mm-hmm.
You could look and see if there's anything you want to search specifically inside the club. But as you look at it for a second, I will give you a little bit of info. Getting inside, like, no sooner do you get through the door than there is this guy with jet black hair and super highlighter pink eyebrows.
Okay.
And he comes over immediately going, "Are you finally going to let me open?"
No.
What the hell are you doing here then?
Looking at your crime scene.
Well, there it is. You've seen it.
I'm gonna need to see it for a minute. You want to stand over there?
All right. And he goes back over towards the bar. He was kind of like leaning on the bar when you came in. And there's a uniformed officer inside here as well that he was kind of standing next to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and like he mutters as he's walking away. He's like, what difference does it make? The guy got shot and now he's gone. Go look at him. This is the room that it happened in. You know, like he's talking to himself
Yeah.
as he walks away, gesturing at the room like, "Woo, the club shot him. I'm sure that's it."
I love it. The first thing I want to do is look at the like signs of scuffle. I think she kind of wants to like look at it like a combat scene basically and figure out
Okay.
like what happened here other than this guy got shot, but like there was a brawl, like where did it start and what exactly were the steps?
That sounds great. Why don't you do intelligence observation?
Okay.
And
Let's try this one.
specifically since you're trying to look at it through the lens of like, I know combat.
Yeah.
What would I look for? I'll give you advantage.
Okay. Yay. An advantage gives me an extra in intelligence or observation.
Double your intelligence.
Double intelligence.
I
Okay,
think.
Good. That's the better one.
Good enough.
Sure.
It is for now.
Yeah. For today? Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Hey, calm down
Back
there.
in there. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Fantastic.
2 successes. I know what a crime scene looks like.
So, you are able to see that there's a couple of overturned tables and some broken bottles that are just strewn out on the floor. You see that there's clearly at least a little bit of blood that's not from the victim that died here because it's separated, right? It's a
Okay.
ways away. But not like someone else died, but more like somebody got hit with a bottle. That's
Mm-hmm.
it's not a movie bottle that shatters into 1,000 pieces and nobody actually gets cut. It's a bottle. Like somebody might have even broken off part of the bottle and tried to use it as a weapon. But the actual scuffle doesn't seem to have a lot other than to have kind of messed up chairs and tables.
Okay.
Like there's no other person here. You do find a couple copies of Kill magazine by one of the overturned tables.
Okay.
but there's no other particular stuff about the struggle here. The other thing that I will point out, since you got a second success, is that you see there's a big mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The mirror is broken from a specific point. Something impacted with it, and it shattered out from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really the only other damage that you see in them.
Does the impact point on the mirror look like a gunshot or like something larger?
Getting close to the mirror, you look at it, it is definitely a smallish, well, not super small, but a hole.
Okay.
It doesn't look like someone's face hit it. It looks like
Yeah.
maybe there's a madman with a rapier that was in this room before. I don't know.
Not impossible.
But it seems likely that it might be a bullet.
I think that's probably what she's going to assume given the proximity of it to the giant bloodstain.
That's fair. Anybody else coming inside?
Yeah.
You get in there. You coming in?
No, I'm
You're gonna hang out
I'm
outside
trying to
first?
talk to a local or a bouncer or someone doing security.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll get there in 1 second. Are you coming inside or?
I'm in another place.
Oh, that's right. We'll get there
I
too.
stay downtown.
I promise.
You're good.
It's just my RPG brain of like, of course we're all here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Stretching it immediately.
right.
Yeah.
You said split the party. I said yes.
So you walk in, you see Kestrel kind of like walking around and looking at the place and like picking up half a bottle and setting it down, walking over to the mirror and looking at this broken mirror spot.
She's got gloves on because she's not an idiot.
Right.
Sure.
I think it's a given that he's
Yeah.
covered head to toe and just impenetrable.
Bunny suit.
So we'll make it clear. I'm gonna assume that you are not tainting a crime scene in the game, unless you specifically say that you are. Right?
Yeah.
Because you're all trained. You're all like. I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna be pedantic. Like you
put on
didn't
your
tell me that you
gloves."
put on your gloves. Ah, now the fingerprints are useless. No, that would be a terrible game, and I wouldn't even want to run it or play in it. As soon as you walk in, though,
Mm.
here he comes again from the bar. Oh my God!
Guy.
They wouldn't let me open the bar. Were you here? You look respectable. You gonna open the bar?
It's an active crime scene. We're currently working on it.
Look, guy died. Big puddle of blood.
And we'd like to prevent that from happening again. And perhaps have to close you further.
I don't care as long as that guy bought a drink before he died. Will you just open the door?
You know, I was considering it, but now I think our investigation has to go longer. Wouldn't you agree, Kestrel?
Yeah, the longer you don't stand over there where I told you to, the
Oh
longer
my
this is gonna take.
God. I haven't even walked. Your guys walked through the blood. I didn't walk through the blood.
The police officers walk through the blood?
Well, whoever came and picked up the dead guy.
Mm-hmm. Did you get names, badge numbers?
No. It's not my fucking job.
Who called them?
Somebody in the crowd called the cops. When there's a fight and then a gunshot and a dude dies.
And who was working last night when all this happened?
Well, there was, one of my acts was on stage dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had a bartender in here. I wasn't here. Well, I was in my office. I came down after this whole kerfluffle.
Of course.
Where's the bartender?
The bartender went home.
What's their name?
I assure you, the more information you give us, the quicker we can get your bar open. It doesn't matter to us at all how long the bar stays closed.
All right. So, look. I was tending the bar.
Oh.
I didn't see anything. All right?
And why did you feel the need to tell us that you were in your office?
Because I just wanted you to leave.
That's not happening. In the future, I would recommend not lying to the police who are currently trying to get your bar open unless you want the bar to stay closed indefinitely.
Okay. This is not the first dead person we've had in and around this bar. Look, years ago, one of my fucking dancers got creamed out in the street by one of you.
By a police officer?
Yeah. How do I know this isn't the same shit? Now you're all here trying to cover your ass.
I want to roll something so I don't punch this man in the face.
Do you want me to punch him in the face? I'm good at that.
Well, I will give you the option if you'd like to roll an insight to tell if he's telling you the truth.
Yes, I would love
Now
to roll
you
an
can do
insight. I would love to roll empathy insight.
Mm-hmm.
Love
This
that.
guy.
Love that journey for me. Insight.
I love it for all of us.
Okay, that was
Okay,
loud.
keep it in control.
I should have kept it out. It was 2 successes. That's nothing.
Oh
Oh
no.
no!
So,
He seems authentic
sure.
with his second story,
right.
right? Look, the dead guy, he came in, he bought a drink, kind of fight started, he waited over there, he got shot. I couldn't see, there were people between me and there. I don't know, nothing.
Okay. Look, I get it. You were working last night. You've been up all morning. I've done it. It's not easy. Why don't you go take a rest in your office? We'll finish up here. Maybe get us the contact information for the dancer, whoever's performing.
Well, she's still here.
Oh, she's still here.
Yeah, she's in her room, in her changing room back there.
Okay, great. So then maybe we'll talk to her and find out what she knows, and we can look at starting to get this cleaned up in time for you to open.
Well, just tell me when I can open.
As soon as I know,
It'll
You're
get
gonna be
cleaned
the
up or it won't.
first
Who
person
cares?
I tell.
Nobody that wants to come in and have a drink at this hour gives a shit about a puddle of blood.
Yeah, well, they might if it might accidentally be theirs next time. So I would just recommend.
What, are you going to go out front and be like, don't go in there, there's a gun-wielding maniac?
It's her.
Look, why don't you go take a nap in your office? We'll let you know as soon as we're done.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Can I clean up the blood then? Would that make everybody feel better?
No.
Oh, God. All right. And he storms off into the back.
I'm in love with him.
You want me to knock that guy out? Just let me know.
Let's,
I'm just-
you
I
walk
wanna
up.
Stay away,
go behind the bar
stay
and
away
whistle
from these
for it.
guys because I expect more bullets and bloodshed in the course of the investigation.
Sure, you are correct.
So, why don't we do outside again?
Outside.
You want to talk to...
Well, if there's another local, I mean, actually looks like, or maybe a regular,
Sure.
anyone that looks like they might have been in the bar, a bouncer, security.
Why don't you go ahead and do, what did I just say before? Intelligence observation.
Put it in the box. 2 successes.
Ooh.
2 successes. Very good. So, you kind of, as you kind of talk to some of the other people up and down the street a little bit to see if you can find out anything, you noticed that there's one guy in the crowd that stands out a little bit because he's a big dude,
Okay.
right? He is in the like 6'5" kind of
Ooh.
range.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
He's pretty tall. He looks not entirely out of place, but he's clearly very interested. Like, he watched them walk into the place very closely. You've seen other people that kind of give up and walk off to find a drink somewhere else. He just is hanging around.
Okay.
So big bald guy.
Okay.
Like I said, doesn't look not local, but he seems interested in what's going on too.
So I text in shorthand on my my KIA to really all of them. I think I found person of interest found.
Okay.
And is there a way to like stealthily? Do we have like phone cameras on our thing to like take pictures of people?
Yeah.
Send it.
Body cams.
Body cam. Like, you know.
So you don't specifically have a body cam.
Okay.
As weird as that is in the future where there's all these surveillance cameras networked together, that's kind of what everybody relies on.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
But you can totally snap some pictures with your KIA and it would
Okay,
not be
and I send that out to
particularly
them.
obtrusive. Here's a question. Are you sending that into...
Nope.
Okay.
Just us.
Just the group chat.
Just the geek. Yeah.
No, wrong stack of cards.
That makes me nervous. He's reaching for something. Run!
The character's not reaching for something. I'm fumbling around like, reaching for something. So I'll give you this. You haven't learned his name yet, but it's on the card. There is no clue for that yet. So that's the way the guy looks. And that's
Okay.
the picture that you all get.
He looks friendly.
Yeah.
He just looks
He's-
super warm and cuddly.
Clearly a dog
Audience.
person.
I mean, 99% of people in Blade Runner don't look super friendly.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
And the 1% is like James Hong and the Noodle Bar guy.
I love James Hong in the original movie.
So,
So I had to mention the noodle.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have experts.
So, that's the picture you take of him. Yeah. You want to go up to him?
Yeah,
or-
I'll go up to him.
All right.
So I walk up to him and say, "Hey, were you here when it happened?"
Oh. I've been waiting for... You're with the cops, right?
No, I just want a drink, dude. I've been waiting a while. How long you been waiting?
Well, I was in there when all this shit went down. But, you know, those... you know, I come in here because they got the dancers. Pretty hot.
Yeah, I heard.
I fell in love with the bar owner so much. I'm doing his voice now. Too.
I love him.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't sound exactly like that.
Okay,
Let's
fine.
backtrack.
I would know.
You
Fjor would know.
that's true. Yeah, but, you know, I was in there. I like to go in. The dancers look great, man. So I come by and like have a drink after work, and so kind of, you know, of course, you know, those stupid human supremacists started causing shit, and dude got shot. So we all ran out of here because we didn't want to get shot next.
Who got shot?
I don't know, some big dude. I don't know.
Damn. How do you get? They let guns in there? Don't they have security?
I mean, kinda.
I heard this was a cool place, but does it always violence happen here very often, or?
I mean, it doesn't turn into a brawl like it did last night. Most people come in, have a drink, watch the show, you know. It's not anything like that, but
Sounds like people are gangbanging in here. I mean, is it that kind of place? Ever seen anything that bad?
it's not normally like that. But, you know, they've got
The dancers.
the dancers. They're the new Nexus replicants.
Oh, that's right. This is Nexus.
These human supremacists come in here, start causing shit. Some of the regulars don't like the shit, gets into a big fight. Somebody gets shot.
That's too bad.
I'll tell you though, I did see that guy, that fat bastard that puts out that Kill magazine.
Oh.
He was in there last night.
Oh,
I think his
really?
name's Gel.
Jill. All right. So what's his deal? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, he was there with a bunch of his boys.
Oh, he doesn't come here often, huh?
Not who I haven't seen him before.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Some big shot comes to a bar, right? And suddenly someone gets killed.
I don't know if he's a big shot, but he's a big piece of shit. That's what he is.
Yeah, it's typically true of rich people. You're not there. Besides, I'm just ripping all this. entirely separate of my opinion of all this. Anywho. I say, well, if they open this up, I'll buy you a round. I mean, it sounds like it's okay. As
Oh, hell yes.
long as you keep your head down. As long as some...
Well, I don't think they're coming back right away.
I don't know.
Some kind of idiot criminal shoots a dude and comes back for a drink.
Yeah. Maybe. Lightning struck. You never know. Rich people like to blow their money and then comes trouble. So, yeah, I guess it's all right for a drink. I might check it out, see how long they're going to open up. What's your name, by the way?
Oh, Styles.
Styles. I'm Fjor.
Oh, well, good to meet you. Puts out his hand to shake.
Shake his hand, collect a DNA sample.
For real?
Well,
If you want to try that,
I'll
we'll
try.
do that. Why don't you do agility stealth?
guys.
Yes.
Unless you're trying to do, if you're trying to do it quietly, that he won't notice.
I mean, all of this is hopefully he won't know.
Right, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's a difference between you're like, I'm gonna try and scrape a little of his skin on my fingernail, and there's like, I'm gonna take his hand to shake and be like,
Oh no, yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I mean we're totally just going for like a few,
Sure.
epithelial, whatever.
yeah.
dermis.
You can totally do
Some
that.
dermis
Dermis.
as a treat.
It's like a conviction. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we're on it. We're doing it.
We're LAPD.
Yeah.
People, come on.
So, agility stealth. Let's do
No,
that.
do not apologize. Oh my god.
Tastes like a conviction. That's the quote of the
We
night.
can edit it out in post.
Nope.
It's so bad.
Going on a shirt.
So D10 is the- okay.
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Tastes like a conviction.
ooh, wait, that's the D8. So I got a 7.
Yeah.
That's a success.
Okay, one success.
So you absolutely can subtly go to shake his hand, just scrape a little skin off the inside of his wrist as you pull your hand back.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to notice
All right.
or care at all.
Okay.
I'll make a blanket statement right now. If you're interviewing people and you want to check if they're telling the truth, it's an insight check.
Okay.
And that would just be your gut feeling about how you feel about what they're telling you. And you can totally roll that if you want right now. That's
I
fine.
would like to roll.
Sure.
Insight. Okay.
I'll also make a deal with everybody.
Ah.
When I'm speaking in GM voice, I will never lie to you.
Okay.
The information I provide will be 100% accurate.
Okay.
It might not be complete because obviously that would make the game stupid. But if you ask specific questions and I answer as a GM, it's true.
Okay.
When I'm in character, I will lie the shit out of you. It's just everything I say might be a lie, but maybe not.
Okay.
Yes, because the owner was very honest.
You mean I
sounding.
can't trust
Immediately lied.
the owner, human bartender?
You might be able to trust him. He just didn't want to be involved.
I see.
That's definitely the vibe you get.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was not like, oh, yeah, I shot that fuck. It was,
It was me. I'm the room that killed him.
I installed that new gun in the mirror. No. And you did not see a gun in the mirror.
Would have noticed.
Yeah. But okay, go ahead with the
Okay.
insight.
So I just have
Yeah, empathy insight.
empathy inside. D10. Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. Ooh, I got one success. Right?
No.
Oh wait.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it has to
So
be
got
a-
a 6.
Six or higher, yeah.
No,
On each
darn.
individual.
No, not even close.
Okay. I mean, this guy seems entirely probable to you,
Okay.
right? Like, it makes sense. He
Right.
was there. He kind of saw the brawl happen.
He's on my sketch list because he stuck around and he was just a little too determined. Anyway, that's fine,
Sure.
but I'll make my way in towards this. I'll bring Styles along like we're just casually
Okay.
making our way to see if the establishment's going to open again.
Okay. the other thing that all of you can keep in mind is if you want to coerce information out of someone, you can do so with a manipulation roll, which is also empathy manipulation, to do it in a soft way, right? Like
What's
in
the other way?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the Kestrel way?
I mean, that could be strength and force. If you're
Okay.
going to try and beat information out of somebody or throw them against the wall until they're ready to talk,
What if you get them drunk?
Oh.
that could be like strength and stamina.
Okay.
If you're trying to drink them under the table
yeah.
so they'll talk, that could also be, like an observation where you're just letting them drink and you're kind of watching and seeing if they spill the beans to the bartender, that kind of thing. It depends on the situation there, but
I'm open to that.
Sweet.
If
So
it
sure.
happens. Okay.
so you get to the door and like the uniformed cop that's out front, when you like kind of take Styles and lead him past the barricade, he's like, "Oh no, it's not open. It's still a crime scene."
Oh yeah, what happened here?
I mean, literally everybody's talking about some dude got shot last night.
Okay, well, did you see anything? Everyone's just saying the same thing. No one knows like what happened, what really happened.
Do I look like I get paid like a detective?
No, but you work here, man. Figure you just want to know like
No,
when the
he's a LAPD cop.
Oh, he is a
Yeah, he's not a bouncer. He's the cop. Yeah.
All right, loading. Okay. All right, so I don't expect you to be a detective, but you're police. What did someone tell you? Like, what happened? Was it a gunshot?
Well, yeah, the guy in there got shot. They hauled him out of here. I don't know,
Who hauled him
45 minutes ago. The coroner.
Hauled him out?
Yeah, they come and pick up dead people. That's what they do. You know,
Okay.
we don't tend to leave dead people places
I mean,
unless we don't know about it.
Okay, smart Alec. I'm just thinking.
Well, at this point, it is clear that he thinks you are just street guy.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Well, okay, I'll keep talking to you, but you're not going in this place."
yeah. Okay, street guy.
All right, that's fine. So I'm not gonna get much out of him. Well, how long do you think till we can go in? We can just get another drink.
I don't know. A couple detectives just went in there.
Can I ask the owner if you don't know? I promise, I'm not gonna disturb anything. I just want to know if I should leave or stick around.
Why don't you do empathy manipulation roll,
I would love to.
and we'll see if you're able to. Like, if you unveil yourself as a cop, he will let you in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But doing it this way, that's great.
It's funny.
2 successes.
Oh, okay. 2 successes. Okay, buddy. I'll ask him. Is that all right?
All right, that's all we can do.
All right.
I'm not trying to bust your balls. I just, think off. I want to drink.
Listen. I know. The end of a day, you
Yeah.
want to go have a drink.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I
Right.
get you.
Yeah.
People work 24 hours.
It's night here all the time. It doesn't matter.
If you never see the sun, it gets real confusing.
Yeah, it gets really weird really fast.
It's either dark or more dark.
Yeah.
I kind of always want to drink.
So, all right. And he kind of turns and he goes to the door and he pulls it open, especially since it doesn't have the tape on it anymore. He pulls it open and he's like, "How's it going in there? We gonna let these people in? There's some thirsty people out here." Like, he's actively working on your behalf to get you in the building.
Is this literally the only bar in this sector?
Absolutely not.
I don't know, but there's a bunch of people out here that want to come inside.
Well, there's a dead thing happening in here.
Another one? They took that guy out of here.
Kestrel walks over and just shuts the door.
Thank you.
You do see that he's standing there with the dude he took a picture of,
I just lightly,
just outside the door.
I
She
just
kind of
lightly
like
tap the door.
glares at you a little and shuts the door.
Okay. And the cop's like, "Oh, all right, buddy. That was the detective said no."
Yes, I saw. I was there. But thanks for trying, buddy.
Yeah. You're a good guy. I see you around, you know.
Yeah, I think I might come here. Have you met Styles? Do you know Styles? He said he's a. Did you say you're a regular?
Well, I don't think I know. Like he looks at him and he's like, I don't think I know him, but I don't come to this bar myself.
Oh, I thought he said he comes here. He came here all the time.
No, I mean, maybe he comes here. I don't come here.
All right, so I'm gonna look at Styles and I thought you said you come here a lot.
He's like, yeah, I come here. That's what the cop's telling you.
Oh, he's telling you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cop's saying like, the cop, don't come to this bar.
He does not come to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that guy might come here.
Okay.
He has been out here a while,
Okay.
so maybe he's just thirsty. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we are.
In all of the ways that word
Yeah.
applies.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to find somewhere else to get a drink. Styles, it's been nice knowing you. I'm sorry I couldn't get you that round.
Well, listen, buddy, you did more than any of these cops did today. So good on you.
Thanks. Yeah, I just want to know what's going on. And I will slink away into the shadows.
Okay.
And I will anger text Kestrel.
What the fuck?
Let me in.
She's like, come in the back door, dumbass.
It would be nice to go through the front once.
You're the one
These are
pretending
my
to be
history
a
with this
human.
gang.
Gonna ruin his rep, like a middle schooler being dropped off in front by their parents.
Bye, Fjor. I love you.
Yeah.
All I
Yeah.
can think about.
And then you fly away in the spinner.
Whole toxic family team
Oh,
vibe.
I didn't know spinners came in minivan.
Okay.
It's a spinner with the little stick family.
Yeah, you
Oh.
All right. So great. Do you want to try and sneak around the back, or
Oh, yeah, I do.
okay?
That's
I
all
mean,
I
you don't
do.
even have to make like a stealth roll.
Okay.
to get back around the side of the building because it's big buildings and you can walk
Huge
off.
building.
Okay.
Do you want to try and bring Styles with you, or do you want to just leave him when you go?
I'm gonna do a Google poll. I'm like, text him and like, I have the person of interest. Should I bring him with?
Into an active crime scene? Are you nuts?
You just
You?
get non-participating in anything to do with this crime scene. Haru, is he that hot in person?
I guess we're coming to you. What's your location?
I mean, you can bring it like
JK, JK,
Oh,
JK. So I guess I won't. I'll just go by myself.
okay. So you go around, you come in the back door, and you're sort of in this long hallway. Wherever the map went. Let me look at it for a second so I can describe it properly. So you come in the back door
Okay.
and come across before you get out to the main. There's like a way you could go right up on the stage if you want, but
Be hilarious.
clearly it
Yeah,
looks like
big
dressing
entrance.
rooms and that kind of stuff off to the side. But you're in a back hall where you come
Yeah, that's more my style.
in.
All right.
But perfect. Yeah. I think that's a good moment for us to take a little break.
Okay.
Because I'm going to try and be better about taking breaks, so everybody can have a chance to be a human. So for those of you out there watching, we will be back in like 5 minutes. It's not a big thing, but it's just a chance to stand up and stretch and take care of human needs and get back with a new beer and a smile. Because I'll get to be the bar owner again. That guy's going to be a regular now for sure. But we'll be right back. Just a couple minutes. Hello again. We return to the snake pit. Very dangerous. You go first. So, you have made it in the back door, Fjor.
Okay.
There's sort of a little like backstage lounge immediately to the side of you, and then there's a hallway with doors,
Okay.
and there looks like there's a stage on one side that has like a big curtain that blocks the edge of it. Up a couple of steps.
Okay.
I think you probably come in the back door right as this dude walks back there, and he's like, "Oh, now they're letting everybody in. Does this mean I can go start serving drinks? Are you thirsty, bud? Let's go."
I am. Yeah, but they said we couldn't come in. I'll throw you some money and help you out.
Well, you just. Oh yeah, all right. I'll hook you up.
What happened here, dude?
Well, some guy last night got shot. There was a fight. People got angry. Stupid human supremacy bullshit.
Oh man, yeah, that's putting the kibosh on a lot of things. Has that ever happened here much?
No, not usually.
The first. Why do
You
you
know,
think?
all my dancers, they're replicants. I'm equal opportunity employer.
Who got shot then?
Some guy in the crowd.
Customer.
Yeah. He came in. He had a couple of drinks at the bar. We was hanging out a while, watching the show, looking around. Then, the big fight broke out. A bunch of those human supremacy guys started heckling the stage, and regular customers, they, didn't take kindly to that.
So they were heckling the stage. Just they didn't like your dancers.
Well, yeah, because they're replicants.
They didn't single anybody out, did they? A lot of times these people pretend to hate the thing they actually are into. That's all I'm saying. That's what
That's a
people
pretty good point. No, I'll tell you, it was Iris last night up on stage when this all started.
Iris.
Yeah.
She one of your good dancers, your better ones?
She's good. Yeah.
She free tonight? I'm just saying, it's part of the reason I came here. And if
Well-
Iris is still working, I mean,
Well, what are you looking for here, bud?
what is Iris? What makes Iris one of your better ones? And then I'll tell you
Well-
if I'm interested.
I mean, she's a great dancer. But I don't know if she's into doing anything extra,
No, I just came for dancing. A few
Well,
drinks.
okay. Well, we're not starting up a set right now, buddy. But I can get you a drink.
Okay.
I don't think those cops out there let me start the music and turn on the disco ball, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Picturing Kestrel standing under the disco ball. It's like
Just little sparkly lights playing across.
Yeah.
death flare.
I don't think they would like it either. They don't look like the lean over. They don't look like the fun having type.
Shh. They're gonna get pissed at me for letting you in there.
All right, well,
I didn't even let you in. How did you even get in here? God damn it.
I'm
Did
making,
they not lock the door back here?
I was actually asking for your security, but you got LAPD guarding your doors, so here I am. Actually,
Oh.
I'll make you a deal. I'll stay out of their way so you don't get in trouble with the cops serving me a drink. Just serve me a drink, and I'll just chill with Iris. Is that cool? I'll be out of your.
Oh, buddy. Let me. I'll go talk to her if you want.
Okay.
I mean, you got any
I
little bit of scratch?
I have a little. Yeah, I got a little.
Well, I mean, that would go a long ways towards paying for a drink and some private time with one of the dancers.
Okay. Well,
What was that about rich people earlier?
was that over the?
No, I didn't hear
Advice,
your
no.
remark about rich people. That's just me asking you.
Out
So
of
funny.
There's always a gray area. So I'm willing to make a deal.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see it. I'll take it over. If she's interested, I'll give it to her. If not, I'll bring it back and you get a free drink.
How about you get me the drink first, and we'll talk about Iris.
Oh, all right there. So he goes and he peeks out the curtain. What are you guys doing?
Sir, I told you as soon as it's ready.
You're just waiting.
We will
Are you,
let you-
right there. He's like, look, I just wanted to I needed to calm down. I was gonna get a bottle of something, have a little drink.
Yeah, go
I mean,
ahead.
I'm not gonna take any of the broken bottles, all your evidence. Just need to go get a bottle of something from behind the bar.
Sure. I mean, it's your property. You might as well.
Great. And he just marches
But
across.
by the way, what was the victim drinking when they got shot? What did they order?
Huh.
Good question.
Let me see. You know, I serve a lot of drinks.
Sure.
No. He came in and he had a vodka gimlet. Weird. Not a lot of people order them, but
Sure. First time you saw the victim? Was he a regular?
no.
No?
But we get lots of people all the time.
Right.
Sometimes people save up a lot of money to come.
Well, I mean, absolutely. Look at how decadent this place is.
That's what I'm going for.
That victim, was he alone?
Well, I think he was in here with a lady. He didn't. I mean, like, you can tell the guys that come in here with their lady, they don't look up at the dancers on the stage as much. You know, they got to take the cues from her. You know.
And he was pretty entranced by the
I
stanza.
mean, look, she'd snap the shit out of your brack. If you started looking elsewhere,
Yeah, if we were together, that'd be a concern.
right? That's what I'm saying. So if you came in here, there was an attractive dancer on the stage, you start looking too much up there and not looking at her, it's a shit show.
So he was looking at his lady then.
Well, I mean, he was looking all over the crowd, actually. He didn't seem to be paying too much attention to the dance.
And what happened to this lady friend of his after he got shot?
I don't know, it was pandemonium.
No one saw what happened to her. She didn't go to his aid. She didn't cry. She didn't call the police.
I mean, there were a bunch of people yelling. Somebody called the fucking cops. I don't know.
Someone who might know?
Look, I didn't see shit.
That's becoming more and more
It
obvious.
was a fucking busy night. Iris was dancing. She always brings in a good crowd. It turned into a fight. Fight got ugly. People are dancing around, smashing bottles, causing a ruckus. I'm going to have to get somebody to come in here and clean that shit up. Eventually.
You said Iris is here?
Yeah, she's in her changing room. But if you want to go talk to her, I'll go first. Make sure it's okay.
Just taking care of your dancer?
I mean, it's her right. She doesn't want to talk to you, right?
Well, sure, she doesn't have to talk to us, but I mean, I figured she'd want to make the club safe to perform in again.
Look, nobody's shot any of my dancers in years.
And we aim to keep it that way.
Well, the last one got shot by one of you pieces of shit. So what do you want from me?
I don't know. A respectful tone would be nice.
Whoa, Mr. Big Pants. Let's see what's going on.
Can I? While they're having this,
Like, he's taking a couple of steps past the curtain, like he was going out to try and get your drink.
yes,
But-
I hear the thrilling intellectual debate, and I'm torn. I'm torn, really, whether or not to stick around or sneak off and try to find Iris myself.
And you could, yeah.
If there's-
Well,
You're the
if
one that
there's
has
an
access to that
opportunity.
hallway.
While this
Okay.
owner is running his mouth, I'm gonna collect some forensic evidence and get a sample of that blood that's not the victim's blood,
Oh, okay.
the other blood stain
Sure.
that was like closer near the scuffle, and just make sure I get that evidence, take a picture of it
Sure.
before I.
You can you've got a little samples thing. You can, yeah, no problem.
Okay. So I will. Yeah, I will.
You gonna go down the hallway and
Go
look
down
for
the
Iris?
hallway and look for Iris.
Okay. And you just hear this guy is just yammering on at Gavin. So you get down the hall, a few doors down, and it's one of those changing room doors that has like the slide in like plastic thing, and like somebody has written Iris in cutesy highlighter with like the eye is dotted with a heart
Oh.
slid into the little plastic holder. And
Mhm.
all the other doors were similarly festooned with other dancer names.
Okay.
It's not like this is the only one that had a name on it.
Okay. All right. I was gonna approach it differently. Okay. So is the door open or?
No, it's closed.
All right. So I just kind of listen in to see if is there any light coming from below?
It doesn't. It's not like it's got a big gap.
Okay. I'm just checking to see if there's anyone already in.
I mean, yeah. It seals up pretty well.
Okay.
It's one of those doors that has like the brush on the bottom for
Door
the gap.
sweep.
The door sweep. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
Okay. So I'll just totally improvise it. So I will just gently tap, knock on the door.
Okay. A couple of seconds later, you start hearing some rustling noises, and eventually, over to the door. Door opens up, and there is Iris, the dancer. I'm going to pass that along. Yep. And she's wearing the super stereotypical like ear robe kind of a thing, because she doesn't really give a shit. And she's like, yeah? And she kind of gives you the look up and down like, oh, okay. What's going on?
Well, first of all, you're not in trouble, Iris, and unless you're not telling me what I want to know, and I close the door behind me. What? Okay.
Okay. So you like step into the room.
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of steps back, like a little, like she looks a little afraid. She's like, okay, I'm not in trouble, but God damn that bartender.
It's that sticky
Yeah.
intonation.
Yeah. She's okay, I'm not in trouble, but what are you? What?
I need to know what happened last night, Iris.
Look,
Like, what went down? You were on stage.
yeah, I was out there dancing, and there was some of those piece of shit human supremacy guys were there, and they started some shit with some of the regulars. They came up, they were talking trash. A couple of them threw a couple of bottles up here on stage.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
blood on the floor for just a little bit of trouble.
Well,
who had the gun?
yeah, eventually, then somebody got shot out there.
Who had the gun? If we had a perp, would you be able to identify them?
I didn't see anybody with the gun.
Did you see where they went after the gun went off?
And after the gun went off, everybody started running. I mean, nobody wants to be victim number 2.
So they all went out the front door. There's a back door. That's how I got in.
I think she like takes another step back, right? She's like, look, buddy. I don't.
Iris, you're not in trouble unless those officers outside decide to put you in cuffs and take you to the station. I'm here to make sure they don't, but you got to tell me what happened.
So
I'm on the.
I roleplayed and I scooted right into the shadow. I glanced at the screen and there was just this big.
It makes her seem extremely honest.
Or
Thank
that you have a black eye.
Right. I wasn't honest, but now I am. Let's. So you're not with the cops?
I'm with the good guys. Let's put it that way.
Uh?
I'm here to help you out. I'm here to make sure no one else gets shot.
Why don't you roll? Why don't you roll empathy
Roll high.
manipulation?
Whatever it is, roll high.
Please.
Empathy manipulation.
Yeah.
I got one success.
Okay. So, listen, you're one of the ones that tries to protect us, right?
Yeah.
Like, so those guys started some shit. You know, one of our regulars, he stepped up to try and tell them to stop being dumb.
Mhm.
They got into it with him a little bit, and then the guy that got shot stepped in to the fight too, and then he got shot. That's all I saw. I didn't see who did the shoot.
Who was the regular that stepped in the first place?
So he's a. You're not going to get him in trouble, right? He's a good guy.
I'm not here to cause trouble. Trouble already happened, Iris.
I'll tell you for sure he didn't shoot anybody. He's not that kind of guy.
Okay, I'll take your word for now. If you want to help him, tell me the truth.
Okay, he's a big bald guy. His name is Styles. He's a good guy. He comes in all the time. And he's the one that stepped in to try and calm those shits down. He's not a murderer. He just steps in if people start getting rowdy with us dancers. You know, I think he likes the fact that, you know, us replicants get a chance.
Nothing wrong with that.
So,
So he's being a good guy.
yeah, he got into a little bit of a fight with those human supremacist assholes.
So why are we so sure that it was the supremacists that did the shooting?
I don't know. I 100% didn't see who shot anybody. All I know is they started some shit. Styles stepped in to try and calm them down a little bit. It got into a bit of a brawl. That big dude that got killed stepped into the brawl. Next thing I know, blam. It was loud. Like louder than the music. That's saying something. Fucking Taffy. He turns up the music all the time.
So was he shot up close or from far? Couldn't tell.
I never saw any. There wasn't like I saw somebody with a gun. None of that. It was too busy. Too many people, and the fight was still going on.
What's the owner's name? Does he have cameras?
Taffy. Taffy's the owner guy.
Does Taffy have cameras?
Fuck no.
All right.
That would cost him money.
Yeah, he does seem to be concerned about money. You making good money here, Iris?
I mean, I get paid. I got a place to live.
Well,
He doesn't. I will give Taffy this. He doesn't make me do any seedy shit. You know, I met some girls that dance and some guys that dance, and they got to do a lot of stuff after hours. You know.
Iris, trust me, with a guy like that, it's just a matter of someone naming the right price before he asks you to do some shit.
Well, I guess I'm lucky that down here nobody with that kind of money comes around.
Well, you've been very helpful. Are you busy right now? Do you want to come get a drink? Taffy owes me one. He's getting me one
Well,
anyway.
Sure, I guess.
All right. Why don't you come out with me? See what he's doing, how he's coming with that drink he told me he was getting.
You do you work with any of the people that are friendly with replicants? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh.
But it's...
And what's your name?
My name's Fjor.
All right. Well, yeah, let's go get a drink.
Let's get a drink. So we just sidle over.
Sure.
Okay.
And you come out of the backstage curtain right behind where Taffy is still okay, buddy. What? And then like he hears the curtain and he kind of turns around and he sees you and Iris and he's like, "Hold the fuck on, will you? I told you I would get you a drink and then I'd go talk to Iris. Iris, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's nice. He's a good guy." And he goes, and then Taffy is well, all right.
It's cool. I
And
mean,
he
you
makes
just
eye contact with
left
you and
me
he
there.
goes,
What else was I gonna do? You disappeared.
"Listen, I was trying to get you a drink, but somebody had to stand in the way."
What does closed mean?
Look, this guy didn't come in the front door. I didn't let him in. He just was back there and he needed a drink. He said he'd pay a little bit of money and talk to Iris. And Iris kind of looks at you for a second like, "You're going to pay some money?"
I'm gonna pay some money, and I'm like silently finger texting Kestrel. Can I borrow some credits?
No.
I'm pumping someone for info.
Do you have any kind of
With no money.
like
I have very
non-verbal
little money.
I also
signal
have no money.
that would let me know not to out you as a cop right now?
Yeah, I imagine we
You've worked together before.
we worked
I'm
this
sorry,
out. Yeah.
that's part of the vibe. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And the rest of you, Iris comes out and she's literally just wearing like this sheer looking robe with the like furry collar, kind of like, super stereotypical,
Right.
but clearly doesn't give a shit about what anybody cares.
Replicants.
And she probably makes eye contact and is like, gives you the nod, like, actually, let's see.
Great question. Could you tell I'm a replicant?
I think she's pretty good at reading people. So she has an idea. She thinks not too many super ripped ladies come in here.
It's probably fair.
So,
Second in 24 hours.
well, the first one,
She has a combat focus according to her file.
sure,
Yeah.
but she's not like she's
Not.
bulked,
Yeah.
right? There's two kinds of combat focus. There's the like
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip you apart, and there's the I'm going to slowly slide this dagger between your
There's
ribs.
also recon.
Yes.
Yeah, Kestrel's a tank.
Mm-hmm. But so Iris kind of gives you the like, she's not saying anything
Mm-hmm.
because that's definitely the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Is like never out somebody in front of other people, but she totally goes like, and then she's like, "Well, so can we get the drink? Can we get a drink?"
Do you have everything you need from the bar?
Yeah. I don't need the bar.
All right, you can go to the bar, but stay on the bar stools.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, I'm gonna
Come on.
go and look in the back and see if there's any kind of tracks. As maybe I don't know. Maybe they went out that way. Is that okay with you? Can I do my job now?
Well, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing. You've been here for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, surprisingly, not all crimes are solved before dinner time.
Oh my god, if we don't open before dinner. Just go. Go look. Go do whatever you want. I'm going to take them over. I'm going to give them a drink.
All right.
We will walk all the way around the big puddle of blood.
Thank you. Your discretion is fantastically appreciated.
The water feature now.
So he walks Iris and Fjor over to the bar.
And I text Aldous, can I borrow some credits?
You're gonna suddenly go over there and be like, you.
You get a message that says, "Here, let me check my bank account," and it's just a big like, it's a series of zeros.
Yeah. I mean, like, is it like a electronic transfer moment? Is that a like actual credits moment?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's absolutely like credit sticks,
Okay.
right? Where like you can load them up with money. Like it could be cash, it could be transfer credits, any which way.
All right. Yeah, before I head over to the back, I will grab one of my credit sticks and like, hey, you dropped this.
Oh, thank you. So kind of you.
Send the message. Don't make it weird.
Too late.
It's too late.
Absolutely
Yeah,
too late.
Too late.
And I'm gonna head into the back.
So you guys get over at the bar and start having a drink. What are you looking for in the back?
Looking for signs of struggle, looking for, any kind of indication that the other victim, the kidnapped victim, may have been dragged this way. Someone dragged versus running. Anything knocked over on the walls that might have,
Sure.
that kind of thing.
It doesn't look like there was any kind of a fight back here
Okay.
at all. You do see that there's a couple of scuff marks on the tile floor back here. But it looks like they're going for the door.
Okay. So they weren't like being dragged that way. It
So
was
like
more...
if anybody came this way, it looks like they were just hustling up the stage stairs and down the stage stairs kind of thing. That's what it looks like.
All right. Cool. Any chance manager's door is open?
Ooh. Nah, he keeps it locked.
All
For
right.
sure. I
Okay.
mean, you could roll to do something about that if you'd like.
No, I'd probably rather just make him open it. If for no other reason to inconvenience him. He's hit my
Sure.
petty button.
I think you hit his too.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual.
Mutual destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I will head back out and ask him if I can talk to him in his office.
For fuck's sake. I was walking back to my office. I met this dude in the hallway. He needed a drink. Iris wanted a drink. Enjoyed that, Iris. And now you want to go talk to me in my office?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, well, come on then. And he just starts marching back there again.
All right.
This time clearly picks up a little bit of blood because he does not take the circuitous route around the middle of the
Oh,
room.
gross, my God.
He doesn't just plow through the middle of it,
Right.
but like a little bit around the edge, clearly, and then there's like a few steps before it dissipates off of his shoe. He's probably wearing like super old school wingtips.
He's wearing floor shines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
But he gets you back there. He gets to his office, and he punches in like a 10-digit code on a little keypad. And it unlocks the door, and he opens the door, and his office inside is super nice. Super nice. Like, he's got what looks like a lamb's wool carpet in front of a couch. And the couch is nice, microfibery looking thing, comfortable looking. He probably posts up there and takes a nap occasionally.
Okay.
He's got a little mini fridge set up and a coffee maker and that kind of stuff, tastefully in the corner, not just strewn about the room. And he's got a big desk that's made out of, it looks like it's made out of a couple of surfboards.
Oh.
They even have like the little fins on the one side sticking up.
Okay.
And then his desk chair is probably this stupid, gaudy, ornate. It looks like an old wing-back chair,
Yes.
but it's on a swivel caster. So he walks behind his desk and he sits down and he goes, "Well, what do you want?"
All right. Look, first, why don't we start over? I don't want to get in the way of your business. I know you want to get in the way of our business. I want to get you open as soon as possible.
Great.
Great. So, can I assume that there was no security footage detailing anything that happened last night?
Inside? Fuck no.
Outside?
Not mine. That's your department, usually.
Wasn't sure if you had any outside cameras watching the back door or anything? All right. I'm going to take a cursory glance around and just see, is there anything that... I don't want to ask just a blanket statement. Anything look unusual? But is there anything that would... No, scrap that. Because I'm not what I'm looking for yet. Any signs of a weapon?
You know what? He absolutely has on the wall. He has like looks like a pirate cutlass
Oh my god.
mounted on the wall. And then
Love that.
above that is like a full ass musket mounted on the wall.
I casually gestured to the musket. I'm guessing for protection.
That's a real fucking musket.
You know,
I paid top dollar for that.
where did you get a real fucking musket?
You can get anything you want if you have enough money. You should know. Look at you.
Yeah, I got enough money. Where'd you get it? I might get it myself.
You know, there's markets and traders all over the city.
Okay, so if that's not for protection, I assume you have something for protection.
Well, yeah, but
Hey, no need to hide it. If it's licensed, I don't care. I'm just asking.
okay, buddy, I got nothing. I keep a musket on the wall. In case anybody breaks in here, I can kill one of them every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
His attitude shift clearly went as soon as you mentioned a license. Like, you don't need a manipulation
No,
to see that. But,
yeah.
But I didn't shoot fucking anybody.
No, of course not.
You could ask any of 100 people if they ever come back.
Well, I mean, clearly they're coming back. You got a crowd outside that we're working to get in here. Cross my heart.
I don't know if it was the same people from last night as well. I don't know.
Right. But regulars are regulars.
Yeah, there'll probably some be back.
Anything else you can tell me about last night? Anything unusual? Anything that maybe didn't catch your notice right away, but kind of put you on edge? That any feelings about last night that might have been any kind of indication that something was not going to be a normal night?
Certainly not at the beginning of the night. Like, I didn't have a vibe. Nothing weird.
Business as usual.
The human supremacy guys came in. I thought they were just being assholes. We get that sometimes. We get groups of people that come in and they get rowdy. It happens sometimes. 99% of the time, nobody gets fucking shot and killed in the middle of the floor.
Sure.
But, you know, people fight. I got a couple of guys that work security sometimes that come in and break up fights. They didn't even have a chance to get in because they watched the door, right?
Right.
But as soon as the fight broke out, then the shooting happened pretty quickly. They weren't even involved.
Okay.
So I let them go.
You mentioned Gel was here before the fight broke out.
Yeah,
Is it common? I mean, I don't know. If it were me running an establishment that employed replicants, maybe have that person on a no enter list with the bouncer.
he's never come in before.
Okay.
I don't know if he and his friends decided to go around different places that have replicant employees and cause trouble. I don't know.
All right.
That's not, like, I don't know him. I've just seen him before. You know, he goes on vidcasts and
I've seen it.
talks his shit. But I'll tell you, I've never had workers as good as replicants. Just never been a thing.
All right, I think I've pretty much got everything I need. Let me check with my partner and make sure that she has everything she needs, and we can look at getting you cleaned up and open.
Fucking fabulous.
All right. If you remember anything, if anybody comes forward to you and wants to ask questions or remember something,
Sure.
hand him a card, digital card.
Yeah. You pass him your contact information. Yeah, you know, if I think of anything, I'll be sure to call.
All right.
And if any more shit starts up, I'll call right away.
Hopefully, we don't have to worry about that.
And I've got Gel and his crew on the no admittance.
That's probably for the best.
Unless it's real slow.
I'm not even gonna respond to that. I'm just gonna... All right, I'm gonna go back out in the front. We got everything we need?
I think so. In the meantime, I took a photo of the mirror.
Cool.
So I have what size that little hole is. We can match it to the ballistic.
Absolutely. If you're specifically going to look at the mirror, you can notice that there's something in there.
Oh,
Like in the hole,
Yeah.
there's something in there.
okay. I'm going to get out some, I'm sure I have some sort of tweezers or lockpicking bullshit.
Yeah.
And try and pry out what's in there.
And you, after a little bit of manipulation, managed to pull out a, looks like a big bullet.
Do I recognize the caliber?
What kind of gun did you pick? Your standard issue stuff?
The big boy.
The big one.
Okay.
The blaster, but I'm assuming she's used a lot of guns before.
Sure. Why don't you roll intelligence firearms?
Okay.
That's a weird mix, but
Yeah, that makes
but
sense.
you get
though.
advantage.
Okay.
Go, girl.
Intelligence and firearms.
If it was an unfired bullet, I would give it to you for free.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this case, it has been fired and smashed into a mirror and a wall, and it's deformed. And
I got one success.
okay, it is 100% a 44 caliber caseless bullet, just like fires out of your big blaster,
Got it.
which is not super common for randos to have.
Okay.
Cool.
Not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make that clear. Like, it is fairly Wild West out there in the streets of Los Angeles. People can buy all kinds of stuff on the black and gray markets. But it does match the kind of bullet that your weapon fires,
Okay.
which is issued to Bladerunner for sure.
Okay. Sweet.
So, yeah.
And she'll show it to you when you ask what if we've got all we need. Just like, I think so. This is what looks like what killed the guy.
We exchanged the information about the bullet.
Yeah.
We should probably check and see if the body still has firearm.
Exactly. Unless this came from the girl's bullet gun.
The plot thickens.
Maybe she's not a kidnapping victim after all.
Maybe he looked too long at the stage.
Maybe he looked too long at the stage.
Listen, I'm telling you. Dangerous.
Is the table that had the scuffle, is that on the opposite side from, so it's mirror, bloodstain, table?
Can I see the map for a second?
Yes.
You holding it in your hand.
Yes, it is
Okay.
kind of, that is kind of a line.
All right.
Yes.
So so the bullet would have come from the direction of the table that had the scuffle,
Yes.
generally.
Hmm?
Okay.
I think it's safe to assume that this is also the bullet that went through the dead guy.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Like,
figure
the
out.
bullet probably has some bit of
Not him returning
fiber
fire.
and blood
Okay.
on it. Yeah.
Got it.
And none of the witnesses have mentioned anything but one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
I think we have everything we need here.
Is there anything else you want to ask or conversation you want to have with Iris?
Oh yeah, totally.
Sure.
So since Taffy has once again abandoned me, with the intent of pouring me,
I will say he left a bottle of booze.
he left me a
on
bottle
the,
of booze, so
yeah, on
I
the
count
bar.
that as bottle service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grab a couple of shot glasses from behind the bar and I say, Iris, I'll tell you what, in my line of work, some people want to be the shot callers, but I'll tell you, sometimes it's better just to be the shot pourer. Happy birthday.
She's into it, man. She is.
So I got a question for you. Just so I can make sure that a friend of yours like Styles doesn't get too much heat on him, people that had nothing to do with this. What would you say if I had a friend who's also helping protect replicants that just went missing? Would you know anything about that? Like the lady that went missing here? If she's someone you knew?
There's a missing lady here?
Yeah. One of the people that was involved in this has gone missing. And I show her a picture of
Leah.
Leah. Thank you. She looked familiar?
Yeah. I saw her here. She and the big dude that got shot were by the bar.
Were at the bar the whole time, or did they talk to anybody?
They were mainly at the bar. After the brawl started, the big dude moved into the crowd, kind of waded into the crowd, if I'm honest. And she followed him into the crowd.
She followed him. Why did he go into the crowd in the first place?
I don't know. I don't really know them. I just saw him. But it looked like maybe he was stepping in to help with the fight, or I don't know, something.
So he went right after? I mean, she went in right after him?
Yeah.
And
I didn't see her after I heard the shot.
Did you see any of the human supremacists? Anyone acting unusual, unlike the regulars?
No.
Hanging out by themselves?
I mean, like I said, the Styles was there, but he kind of stepped in immediately when they started being shitty. The human supremacists started being shitty. And that kicked off the sort of brawl between a couple of the regular, couple of people that are in here. They got mad that these other guys were interrupting the show, and then it turned into a thing, and Styles kind of stepped in to tell them to shut the fuck up and sit down and watch the show, and they didn't take that too good, and they started trying to get aggressive with Styles, and then other people stepped in, and it was a whole hairball of a fight. And then that big dude from the bar, he walked in. Like I said, Taffy plays the fucking music so loud, I didn't hear what was going on exactly, but
Okay.
then I saw this girl walk in behind the big guy, and then a couple seconds later, blam, and then everybody screaming and running, and I ran too. One of those guys had a gun. I didn't want to be the next person shot.
No, I don't blame you. It's not worth it, especially for what that guy is probably paying you. I noticed a lot of people that usually have a lot of money, they don't like to give it away to the people that earn it.
Well, that's fair. But no, Taffy pays all right.
Okay.
Like I said, this is a pretty good gig.
Okay.
He doesn't make us do nasty shit, and we get to dance, and we get to keep our tips. So,
Well, let you know, this place is going to be on people's radar for a while. You let me know if you hear anything else, Iris, all right?
yeah.
Now, pick a hand.
Oh, Right hand.
All right. So one is one is all this is credit stick.
Ah,
Okay.
And I'll say the other one is an origami butterfly with my number on it. So you call me if you get in trouble,
oh,
if you see anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll look out for loading. I'll look out for styles.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If he comes back in, I'll let him know that you were here.
Let him know, but otherwise, sit here.
Yeah.
All right.
You got it.
And I go out the back
And-
door, and I'll text you that.
I will give you for free.
Okay.
Specifically, she takes the butterfly and she's like, and she kind of takes it and tucks it in the pocket of her robe. And
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. I slink out the back.
you guys are all done.
But I
at the
text,
snake pit.
yeah, I text Haru that she doesn't know the person, anything. No one knows the person you're looking for.
mm-hmm. No one knows her.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's finally get to Haru.
Haha.
I
They
got
slink their way over there. I will say, en route, they try and clean up. Like, they didn't, like, go to a nightclub, then a sex club, then a bar, and then go sleep in an alleyway. They try and clean up a little bit. It's probably not perfect. Making David think.
No. I just have to find the
Yeah,
right
find it.
spot
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have all the pile of information. So you found her address easy enough.
Yeah.
It was easy for you to get over here. You managed through a combination of like water pooling on trash can lids and stuff to get yourself kind of together, right?
I do this a lot. I'm very good at the, like, walk and kind of refresh.
Yeah. For sure. So her apartment's in Sector 5. It's not super far from headquarters.
Yeah.
Where you left. For anybody watching, kind of envision Kay's apartment from the second Blade Runner film.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a setup and layout. So you get to the building, and it's sort of a tall apartment block, right? It's not like blocks long or anything. It's not a massive building, but it's probably 20 floors,
Okay.
right? And it looks like a lot of the other buildings you've seen cops live in, right? But as with most everything, it's mixed use. It's not like an all police dorm,
No.
right? It's people live there.
Yeah.
You walk into the building, assuming you're walking in.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely walk in muttering to themselves about how they're not going to turn around and go back to nightclub row after literally getting called all the way in.
Sure.
There's like this fucking guy. I can't fucking believe it.
So you walk into the building and there's a set of like 3 elevators. One elevator, the doors are missing.
Sure. Seems safe.
It seems like it's just a shaft.
Mhm.
It only goes like 1 floor below where you are. But it looks like it goes up through the whole building, and you can kind of peer in if you want and see that it's just empty.
Yeah.
The second one, the door is welded together down the seam,
Cool. Uh-huh.
and doesn't seem to work. And the third one door is closed and the other door is open, and inside smells like everybody that owns a dog
Yes.
has ever just let them use that.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But one, like, it's jammed at a weird angle and it doesn't look like it's working great either.
Nothing but the fucking best for LA's finest.
You do know that the apartment's on the 13th floor.
Sure. Haru's not opposed to stairs and is going to go find the stairs.
You get to the bottom of the stairs and it is like a festival in graffiti art,
Sure, yeah.
right? Like everything from just tags to people trying to make a mural that then got tagged over and
Lots
then
of
somebody else made it.
dicks and yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, for sure. Just a whole, like I said, like you walked up, you as you start to ascend the stairs, it's just layers after layer of people that have just expressed themselves
Yeah.
in this stairway.
This is home.
You get up to the 13th floor, and you come out the door, and there's a dude that is kind of standing in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Big burly guy, right? Wearing a trench coat, kind of leaning on the wall for support, right? Doesn't seem to be moving much.
Uh-huh.
Like he's just there.
Sure.
And then just past him is where you know the entrance to this apartment is.
Haru walks out of the stairwell very slowly. Isn't like beelining straight for her door. Is kind of, I think, playing it being lost, even though they can count door numbers.
Sure.
And just going and walking down the hallway and going like 13, 14, and is purposely not looking at this guy.
Cool. You pass by him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't leap out and try and murder you or anything.
Yep.
You get past him and you get to the door you want.
Okay.
And spray painted across this door is Skin Job.
Sure.
And well, like it starts on one side of the door and then goes over the door and then is a little bit on the other side. Yeah, you're there.
These fucking people. Is it locked?
It is.
I would like to try and let myself in.
Sure. What's your attempt?
I think, barring any standard issue equipment, I think it's just a matter of like.
Well, are you trying to let yourself in like a cop, or are you trying to get in like someone trying to rob the place?
I think like someone trying to rob the place.
Okay. That's fine. So that would be more like
unless I will say if the cop entrance is discreet.
it would involve like pulling out your badge and presenting it to the security pad.
No.
Because that would override the door.
Mm-mm.
Since this is LAPD housing.
Yeah. Gonna try the less obvious way first.
Cool. You could either try and force the door with strength and force, or you could do intelligence stealth to subtly mess with the lock pad.
No, I think it's got to be force. I think we're just gonna try and.
Okay. So strength and force.
That's. I know how this works. I can read my notes. Uh-huh. Hey! I got a success and a 1.
That's fine. The success is what matters. If you got no successes, then a 1, then it's a problem.
Then that big guy becomes my problem.
So you put a shoulder to the door and hit it, and it dislodges from the track that it sits in,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to kind of start wedging it. As soon as you do it, though, the guy back there goes, "Hey, you with that fucking skin job?
Absolutely fucking not.
You just trying to take your shit?"
No. I'm an uninvited guest. Figure it out.
I think he's like, "Oh, okay." like he was willing to just talk some shit. He's not. He just saw you bust a door open.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not interested in the confrontation.
No.
You probably, as you look back, like he's got one of those little hip flask-sized
Yeah.
bottles of something,
Yeah,
and he's taking a sip, and he's like, "Well, all right,
he's living his life.
don't start any shit with any of the other doors on this floor, huh?"
Nah.
Okay. And he kind of turns, like he forgot he was going in a direction, and kind of starts walk, like take 2 steps, lean, take 2
Oh, this
steps,
guy.
lean again. But you get the door slid out of the way. Inside, you get map A
Map
Need
A.
map.
of the inside of the apartment. And then you will get something else.
Well, it really is just like the one in the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ooh,
Cool.
neat.
And you can map 8 gives you a general layout.
Mm-hmm.
Clue K gives you what the apartment looks like.
Okay.
All right.
So lights are left on. Clearly, like somebody lived here.
Mm-hmm.
The bed is unmade. You know.
They walk in, and the first thing I think they notice is how many books are here. Like-
Sure.
Like, I think that they just kind of peruse the kind of literature that she kept. If it's like technical, historical, fictional.
You kind of go through, and you see that there's a variety of books. Like it's
Okay.
not technical reading. It's mainly like some literature and a variety of stuff. The book that is like open on the table,
Yeah.
it does have
There's 2 books that are open.
you find in the first book that was open, you find handout M.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Is
That's
hands
the
out-
page it was open to.
Is that under clues?
It is a clue. Yeah. Oh, you probably, yeah.
Yep. Hold on. We're getting there.
I'm gonna read it while you get there.
There we
Sure.
go.
The tiger, spelled with a Y. Tiger,
Ooh.
tiger, burning bright in the force of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? And it goes on. It's a poem by William Blake.
Blake.
Love this book.
And you do see that the other book that you noticed was open
Mhm.
is also a collection of William Blake.
Okay.
Work.
Someone's a fan.
But the page that it's left open to is torn out.
Immediately go into the table of contents and see what was supposed to be there.
Let's see.
Ah.
It's just in a section of the book that's like short poetry.
Okay.
It doesn't have a specific title.
Someone likes poetry. What is the? I'm assuming that's a drink on the table, and is it still cold?
Let's see. Are you talking about the central table there?
Yeah, the central table.
It looks kind of like a Thai tea.
Mm-hmm.
It is not cold.
Okay.
In fact, it's separated out. It's sat there.
Okay. And I think looking at the drink, then they would notice the jar with butterflies in it? Question mark.
Sure.
Is that a real jar with real butterflies? What's the story here?
It is a.
Good question.
It is absolutely a jar with butterflies that are flapping their wings, and then every once in a while you hear that like tick, 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 as one of them
Yeah.
flaps around a little bit.
Huh.
Wow.
If you would be interested, you could make a empathy connections roll,
Yes, please.
having found that.
All right. We statted ourselves very good there. It's very useful. Sadly, I rolled poorly. No.
Okay.
Oh.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
I don't know if you recollect ever seeing a collection of butterflies in a jar before.
Probably not.
You do notice that there aren't any air holes in the jar,
Mm-hmm.
which indicates to you they're not living actual butterflies, but
Yeah.
anemoid butterflies.
I think they have a long pause of thinking, like, what if I opened the jar? And then they remember there's, like, no plants anywhere for these butterflies to go to. And they're like, best to stay in the jar, actually. Yeah, and I think that they kind of make their way back towards the table in front of the window, looking at whatever is on the shelf on top of the book. Looks like some sort of container.
Oh, a jar there. It looks like it's a moonshine jar.
Oh, nice. Good.
Like,
Sniff?
yeah, smells real turpentine-y.
Swig?
You probably only get a little bit of remnant. Like, it was mostly empty. But yeah, it tastes like cheap,
Yeah.
home brewed, home fermented, kind of like tastes like alcohol that might be a little too methyl still.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
just a little. Not necessarily enough to blind or kill, but just enough to go, oh.
I've drank worse.
And looking around, you see several other containers that look similar.
Cool. Someone's a moonshiner. Love that for her. And then they're gonna make their way to the table where it looks like there was like a meal that had been consumed.
Sure.
Big question, is it one person or two? Because there are 2 plates on the table.
You don't see anything that indicates any other people in this
Okay.
apartment. Like, it looks more like somebody sat down to eat a meal and never cleaned it up,
And then did it
and
again.
then did it again.
Got
And
it.
now for the next meal, they'll probably have to clean it up because they don't have any more seats.
Got it.
Right? Like, keep using empty space until it's full and then move on. Yeah.
And then that's a water bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing is the picture.
Uh-huh. The picture
And
next...
sniffing the sheets, but picture first.
Oh, okay. That's
Creepy, I like it.
that was unexpected. All right.
You
can
police
totally-
your way, they'll police their way.
Right. I'm not saying anything. The people that wrote this book did not specifically mention if one of the players decides to smell the sheets. Here's a clue. I like it though. You can tell that the sheets have not been changed in a long time.
Lots of BO. Got it.
Like, it's clearly, and you like, they've got that feel of just dirt, right? Yeah.
As long as it's just dirt, we're square.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay.
You're not coming across anything else.
Okay.
The photo on your bedside table should be L, clue L, and I don't have a hard copy.
Okay. Oh, that's cute.
So
It's a lot of trees.
it is. It's interesting because it doesn't look like a current photo or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You do, like, even sunsets in LA don't really look like that.
No.
Yeah.
I think that they have been pretty like methodical going through everything, and the picture stops them dead in their tracks. And sure, there's a kid and a parent, but the trees are the thing that they stare at and stare at and stare at, trying to understand, like, where would there even be this many trees within the lifetime of someone who would have a photo sitting out like this?
Well, especially as far as you're aware,
A replicant.
a replicant
Yeah.
that only came online in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to do intelligence and insight roll,
Please. Oh no. I got that one that I've been chasing now
Oh
oh,
no.
and nothing else.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Oh.
So, why don't you give yourself a point of stress?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Let me make sure I do it right. But yeah, for now, a stress is good.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Trees are useful.
I mean, it was unsettling,
Yeah.
right? You did that. One of the things you can do is push yourself
That's true.
to roll again.
I think this would be an instance where they definitely would. The
Sure.
trees are kind of a big thing. Yes, so it was intelligence.
So pushing yourself will cost you another stress.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And that's not more than your resolve number yet, right?
No, I still have one more.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Figure out those trees.
Gotta
Come on.
figure out the trees. I did it again. I rolled the exact same thing.
No way.
Fabulous. Just fabulous. So that we'll give you another stress for that.
Yep,
Like you are distressed by these
Yep.
trees in the picture.
yep.
Um,
A Lorax they or not.
oh. So that equals your resolve rating in stress now.
Correct.
So why don't you roll a d6?
I'm gonna roll a different die. This die and I are not
Yes.
friends.
Yes.
We're gonna
part ways.
roll the 4.
4. Here's where completely out of character for everybody at the table. Stress can trigger all kinds of bad
Yeah,
outcomes.
Absolutely.
This outcome is you will do some kind of self-harm,
Okay. Mhm.
right? Like you freak out, that's a thing. That's not cool, please let me know. But yes, and you will take 1 point of physical damage
Got it.
from it.
I mean, I think they fully grab the picture and crunch it in their hands.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not destroying the picture, but definitely the frame that it is in is gone.
Okay. So you take lacerations.
Yeah.
Because it's glass.
Yeah.
Now we need you to roll your empathy, just empathy,
Okay.
and try not to roll a 1.
Okay. All right. Wish me luck.
Yes.
5.
Okay. You did not permanently lose a point of resolve. So that's good.
Yep.
You are also entirely by yourself, so no one else knows that you had this
Little
momentary
moment.
break. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. Just great.
Just listen, we're winning already.
I will, however, because of the choice that you made in how you managed to harm yourself, you discover you get a couple of bloody fingerprints
Sure.
on the photo that you're still holding,
Mhm.
but you do notice on the back it is printed with Doc Badger across the back.
I think with the like bloody hands, they kind of try and wipe it off on their coat. And then they shove the now somewhat rumpled picture into their coat. And then they take out their KIA and start to scan everything else in the room. The books, the moonshine,
Sure.
everything else, but the photo stays off the record.
Okay.
And the frame. No
All of that,
pictures of
yeah.
any of that.
Cool, gotcha. And you're submitting all that to LAPD?
Yes.
Gotcha. Why don't you do, just to wrap this up,
Mhm.
a empathy connections roll? Or empathy or intelligence, your choice.
Empathy, please.
Please.
Empathy. And connections?
Empathetic vibes.
Better than before. I didn't succeed, but I also did not get any ones, so we're better than we were. I
Right.
swear I can roll well, guys. It does
I
happen.
know, I know.
So nothing else strikes
Yeah.
you about this.
That's fine.
But the rest of you all do get an upload of everything in the room except this photo. Yeah. So I think that wraps up our first shift of the case.
Cool.
Cool.
I think it's also a great time to wrap up for the evening since we have 6-ish minutes to go until the end.
Side note, I totally took whatever bottle that Tappy left in the bar and I took it with me.
Hell yeah.
All right,
That's
all
all I
right.
just wanted to say.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about them billing the LAPD for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All this
Mm-hmm.
investment.
So mark off a Chinian
A Chinian. Yep.
because Iris now has it.
I don't remember where that is. Oh, there it is. No,
Bottom of your sheet.
there it is.
Community policing. Hey, Iris.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far it certainly
back.
looked to you like Iris left with a positive interaction.
Yes.
So it seems likely that she would react positively in the future. Let me get all of my garbage out of the way so I can remember all the stuff I'm supposed to say here at the end. First off, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm super excited to keep diving into this world and to see if I can come up with an NPC half as good as Taffy for any future interactions. Thank you to, I know James B was in the chat, and I know he had a lot of work to do tonight. I saw people going left and right, so I greatly appreciate all the hard work you do to make our chat room a safe place, because the internet is not a safe place. So anybody that stands in the way of that tide of horror, I appreciate. Next up, thanks to all of the Patreon members that help support the channel. It's those Patreon donations that mean that we didn't have to take an ad break, and I don't have to sit here and read you copy from somebody that I don't believe in. All the stuff that I mentioned that I like on the show is because I actually like it. And that's the way this whole channel works. That's why we're playing this game. As much as I love Free League stuff, Free League is not paying us to do this. If they want to contact me separate from the channel because they need me to do something, I'm not opposed because I think they're super awesome. But that is not Happy Jacks. Happy Jacks is ad-free because of these awesome Patreon people that pay for this cool studio and keep the beer fridge going, and that's amazing. So thank you. You can join our Patreon at happyjacks.org/Patreon. There are multiple levels that earn you multiple different rewards. One of the things at the end of this campaign, we will come back and do a little debrief and talk about it. There has been a debrief for Unsung Tales that we got to play in before in the One Ring system. There has now been a debrief for Season 1 of the Pinnacles game that has been running on Sundays. So stuff is trickling out to Patreon. Also, Patreon members, the offer still stands. For this game in particular, message me on the Happy Jacks Discord, and you will certainly be able to give me any ideas for an NPC you want me to integrate into the story going forward. I'm happy to, even if they're just some guy that works at the noodle bar, or
Taffy's twin brother.
yeah,
Lappy.
we will
Yeah.
add something else.
Yes.
That is my little gift to Patreon. That's extra on top of all the cool stuff you can get from the channel. Yeah. Let's go around the table in reverse order this time.
Ah, that's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I've been Kestrel. You're definitely not friendly neighborhood ex-military turned LAPD enforcer. She's scary.
Yeah.
You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid, on most things, where I'll probably just post weird pictures of me in costumes and my dog.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. You can find me everywhere as Estelle of Imladris, which now feels weird out of context from the last time I sat in this chair. Tonight I've had such a fun time playing Haru, who is fine and normal. You can find me on Saturdays on Transplanter RPG, a non-colonial, anti-orientalist, all-trans, people of color-led channel where I play a gay purple cowboy who has a grand old time and totally also is fine and normal. We're currently playing the Wild Sea, and you can see us enter the kind of second half of our first arc, where we are out on the Wild Sea and maybe trying to stop an apocalypse. And what else? Oh my gosh, I have so many things going on all of the time. Also, I just dropped the 14th episode of Far, Far Away from the Lore Brewery, which is a podcast that I'm on. You can find it on all podcasting platforms, playing 5e, which with all fairy tales, where I play a very normal boy who has no problems ever in a fairy tale, which is definitely how fairy tales work.
Yeah.
And yeah, take us away, Cousteau. Make me stop talking.
Thank you. My name's Cousteau Magee, and you can find me on the interwebs at Cousteau Magee on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you so much for walking. I had too much in that shot. Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel.
Hey everybody, I am Joey. I still am Joey, at least for another couple hours. And you can catch me on all the socials at Feywild85, except for Blue Sky and Discord, where I am just Feywild, because I locked that shit in immediately. And if you're in the North Orange County area, starting this Thursday for the next 4 Thursdays, I will be in a production of Henry V for Alchemy Theater's production of Drinkspear at Lone Wolf Brewery in Yorba Linda. And after that, I, in theory, will also be in their production of Macbeth for October. So keep your eyes out for that on all my socials as well.
Ah, and we're back to me.
You're in the chair now.
I came at that like the famous Orson Welles. Campaign.
We have no fun here.
No. I'm CADave. You'll find me back here next Tuesday, along with all these awesome people. We will continue doing this on Tuesdays into the future, for as far as we can see. You will also find me regularly now. I know, shocked. I'm actually regularly streaming Dave the Diver on Mondays. So Monday evenings, usually between 6 and 7, I kick off about an hour and a half of my Monday dive into snorkeling to collect fish to feed everybody at a sushi bar.
And maybe find a kraken.
And I fought a giant squid.
Oh, you did?
And won.
All right.
Then I had to, recently I just fought a Arnold Schwarzenegger eco-terrorist that is very upset at me taking fish to feed people.
All right.
I don't know. I don't waste the fish, usually, except for when I was hunting down specific jellyfish and I didn't have any more room.
Also, people don't eat jellyfish.
Yeah, but I needed the jellyfish.
Yeah.
There was a jellyfish festival on. I had to sell all the jellyfish.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That
It was
famous
a
jellyfish
nightmare.
festival.
It was like an hour of
Jelly
sitting
jam.
down to get jellyfish. But the game is so much fun. It's over the top. It's hilarious. And I feel like the developers do owe me a licensing fee.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because it's me. So, you'll see me there. That's all the places that are important. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks again. Thanks, Patreon, and thanks, chat.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.